caught you red-handed. Who knows if this'll be forever? Run me under water curves. Okay, let me be candid. This won't be forever. Drama. Maybe you're the one or you're back home. Or you could be my advice, yeah. All that I need, everything I like, yeah. Shoot straight, no blank, some kind of hell. Go round and round in a carousel. You got me dizzy, tripping, falling on the ground. Oh, you're a blank page on my white canvas. Who knows what we could be together? Wet paint caught you red-handed. Who knows if this'll be forever? Run me under water curves. Okay, let me be candid. This won't be forever. Chase, can't say I never was honest. Lights on, no games that no one wins. Oh, you're a blank page on my white canvas. Who knows what we could be together? Wet paint caught you red-handed. Who knows if this'll be forever? Run me under water curves. Okay, let me be candid. This won't be forever. I'm not in the pain, been trying to change, clouded and unfazed, just trying to gaze into each other's mind. The haze is making us blind.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 7 of Sophomore League here tonight. I'm Camcom, joined by Gigatron here on the desk, and tonight we have a very exciting matchup. We have SOS taking on OMTZ down in Division 2 here.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game because SOS, this is kind of like do or die for them because if they win this, they are guaranteed in. But if they lose this, it's kind of up in the air. So I want to see that hopefully they win this, but it is OMTZ, which have been performing very well this season.
Yeah, 100%. OMTZ sitting at 5-1 second seed currently based on the standings. If they take this game here tonight, I believe they will tie for first once again at 6-1. If they lose this series and SOS takes it, SOS will take 4th seed solidly on their own without needing a tiebreaker.
Yeah, and I mean, look at these bands though. We already have basically like mid laners coming out from SOS. You have Yon, Ziggs, and Corky here. I mean, I know Ziggs is flex, but still,
Yeah.
that's still crazy just to think like, hey, let's just go after them with that way. But yeah, first pick Zen. It is a good priority. I mean, you're gonna have a heavy gank jungler. Does well early on, has some decent range with I said it last night and I don't remember what his W is. It's a weird, I know what it's for. It's what I think it's when wind meets lightning. There we go. Got it.
Okay. I mean, there
I
you
love
go,
that.
man.
It's great.
Zinzao into Udyr picked here by OMTZ. Udyr into Zinzao. That's a very early farming matchup, I think, for both of these champions, as both of them do spike pretty hard off of level 6. Yes, Zinzao has a lot more ganking presence early on without needing to power farm as much as Udyr does, but it's still like, especially in the mid game, both of these junglers, that is where they're really going to shine. But Vayne being locked in here for B2 by SOS here.
Yeah, Vayne being locked in. You already see the Varus, so it's gonna be you can kind of safely take it this way. You don't have to worry about giving up another solo laner yet, or your support. Potentially they could pick it here in this P3, but right now, yeah, I think Vayne still good. Get really good stacks. Oh, with Karma, yeah. I mean, a high movement. This definitely works, especially with the Zinzao. Gets them in a little bit quicker and easier. and you can still get good shields onto your carry. So not as annoying as a Lulu, but still pretty strong.
Yeah, Karma is a much higher range enchanter support than Lulu is, which is a lot easier to play into the Varus because you're going to get poked down most likely a lot less. You still can get poked down, but having your E up, having a Mantra E, and definitely your healing on your W is going to be able to keep you in lane a lot easier. Now, Rakan being locked into a Karma, I think, is a little interesting because if Karma W's Rakan, he actually is not able to W himself. He can W away, but he's not able to actually engage because that will not break Karma W. So if he goes in, he's always 100% going to be CC'd, which makes it much harder for Varus to follow up if your support's not allowed to move.
Exactly, because it's the same thing of like, okay, he goes in, he gets hit by a Mantra Q. The other problem is when Zao comes down at all or anything, then it's like, okay, you regret it because when he does the Audacious Charge with the 3 talent strike, yeah, you just get knocked up. You're already slowed. He's already got armor pen on you, and you can get bursted down. So, but I think both are still good though. Early on, if we're looking at Zin and Udyr, I didn't talk about that when you were talking about it earlier. Like Udyr, level 4 can still go. I mean, he's just gonna have two stacks in the chicken. You know, he's got Tiger, and he'll at least have stun. You know, with the bear stance. So
yeah.
You could get a you could get a gank, you might not, you know, kind of a thing. But yeah, like Zin has definitely the earlier presence until 6, and then that's when you're going to see potentially both of them ganking more. But we do see Tristana and Mordekaiser. I was going to say Morgana. Mordekaiser's being out with the set and Cassie. Interesting. I hate Cassie right now. I don't know about you.
Yeah, Cassiopeia is a really strong R5 into a lot of comps. You can pick her B5, but you can't really blind pick that champion. She has way too many counters, but she's also really good into a lot of very commonly picked team comps. Now, I do want to talk about one funny interaction. If Udyr stuns Vayne, Vayne immediately can condemn him away. So that actually is going to cancel out the stun on Vayne if she is able to land it. And I believe that is probably why they picked B2 Vayne here for SOS. It's just a funny like little micro interaction. It really does not let Udyr gank the spot lane whatsoever. So if the other two lanes that SOS draft here are equally as ungankable as the spot lane here for the Udyr, then he's just going to be forced to farm. Whether that's his jungle or whether that's in Zao's jungle, he's locked in that jungling clear pattern and not really going to be allowed to have as much of a ganking impact on this game.
Exactly, and I think that's going to be kind of a big issue is because, okay, yes, you can do the knockback in that case, and if it gets knocked back, then you do the mantra slow, and then now it's kind of like, okay, why did I waste my time coming down here? So I think that's the other thing you have to look at is even ganking the other lanes right now, you have an Urgot who will just flip you back at that point. And already gets a good shield and can burn you down quick. And you have a Victor who, same thing, once he starts coming online more, you know, once he's got his abilities empowered more in that case and everything from the core. Yeah, it's I think it's gonna be rough mid late game for ganks, which is kind of where Udyr excels. So I wonder how it's gonna go.
Now, these are some very interesting team comps here because SOS with the very early Vayne pick, usually if you do pick a Vayne, whether it's early or late, you have to draft around it to get that Vayne ahead as much as possible so that she can get to that late game scaling hyper carry position that you want her to be in. And originally with Karma and even Urgot and Sensao a little bit, that can help her get ahead. And then Victor is just like, well, he's also late game damage, but it's a lot harder to draft around him when you also have a Vayne because now you have to pick who you're funneling your resources into, and then that other champion, that other hyperscaling champion is really not going to ever get to that state unless you're trying to equally divide them, in which case it's going to take twice as long.
Yeah, and it's kind of part of the problem too. I agree with that because even if, say, you have Victor gank the Vayne more in that case and everything, like say you have Spies or Spies, whatever, I don't know what we're going to call them, and Kanye go down there. Spies. Oh, it's a bunch of S. I was like, we'll just go with Spies. But with Spies and Kanye goes down together, kind of a thing, yeah, it's going to be interesting because if they can get kills, I'd say they put the kills on Vayne then at least Victor's getting assists. So yes, it's kind of helping out there, but then it kills him off because of the fact that now he's not farming in that case. So core levels are going to be delayed still in that case. So yeah, I agree. It's like, okay, well, what do we do? Do you funnel into him now? Or are you funnel into Vayne? I mean, it obviously should be Vayne. Vayne's the better carry thing out of the two. You just use the Victor for the dull zone, so then that way they get stunned in there. I don't know what you think.
I think SOS, their early game with these two extremely hyperscaling champions, is going to be incredibly lacking. There's not that much lane pressure that they're going to be able to find, especially into champions like this Varus Rakan bot lane, where yes, Rakan is countered by Karma, but they should still definitely be able to get pressure because of the amount of early game presence that the Varus does have, right? So that's going to lock off bot lane or pressure from Xin Zhao. Mid lane, Azir into Victor. That's an extremely farm heavy matchup. I'm not predicting any solo kills. It's two big late game scaling mages, right? It's like, if there's any solo kills in that early game, it's going to have to be with the help of a jungler. So that is where I'm expecting a lot of the action to be, with the 2v2s and the junglers. And top lane, Shen versus Urgot. Urgot could look for some solo kills, especially if he catches Shen trying to ult out of the lane, right? But other than that, it's basically a tank v tank where Urgot is eventually going to scale into the bruiser type. So it's not that many kills early on that I'm expecting, but once we do start getting into team fights, that is where a lot of the champions will start finding those actual power spikes. But again, the only real early game champions that we have in this game are Varus from ONTZ and Xin Zhao.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. The Varus and the Xin Zhao, those are pretty much the big ones early on. And yeah, Urgot always is more late game. Shen, I'd say Shen's early because of the fact that you could trade with the Twilight Assault a little bit, kind of thing with the grass procs. I mean, it's not going to go well in the Urgot, but I mean, technically, that's what Shen is prioritized, is because of the fact that he is going to be able to fight usually a little bit easier in the bruisers. But yeah, I agree. When team fights happen, this is where we will see a lot of them come online, especially the Chitin on Azir. Same thing with Zephyr there on Rakan. So I don't know who based on what you see, who do you want to give it to? Do you want to give it to OMTZ, or do you want to give it to SOS?
I would give it to OMTZ here. I think they have a much more well-rounded team comp where it's not two late scaling hyper champions and not really any early game. Whereas OMTZ, right, you have the early game safety in Varus. You know that he's going to have lane pressure for Udyr to roam around and find invades on. Then Shen is there to protect him. Rakan is there to protect him. And then Nazir is that insurance policy that you can have for the later stages of the game. And he has so much zone control. He has so much range in these team fights. He's going to outrange literally everyone on a SOS in these team fights when you have that, 15 to 20 seconds before it. And it's like, we're going to stand off in this dragon river right here, decide who wants to hit it first. And then during that time, Azir can just be smacking you with his soldiers.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You never want to be deciding on, do we go or not, especially with Azir. So, yeah. It's just like, yeah, there's free poke coming down right now on us. I don't like this. So, but yeah, I agree. I have to go with OMTZ as well. I think they have a little bit much, I think, easier CC comp compared to also SOS in that case. I think it's just easier to lay it out. And then I agree. Early game, definitely going to be better coming out from them too. So
yeah, absolutely. And with that, we will be going to a short little intermission here for the spectator delay. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with your game one here tonight.
There's no medicine for what you put in. I don't know, and I don't know why, but I let it in. For that I repent, and I don't know, and I don't know why. Like I was saved from the shit that you said. Wish I could change the words that you said. And there's no medicine, there's no medicine. Your words crawl into
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to week number 7. Last week before playoffs here in Runeterra Academy Sophomore League. Once again, I'm Camcom, joined by Gigatron here tonight. SOS taking on the blue side, OMTZ taking on the red side. Who's going to take this first game here?
These invisible champions that I So 1 second, let me go fix this real quick.
Oh no. As he's fixing this, we can first of all admire the beautiful Riot client that we do get to witness here today, of course. Invisible champions, invisible items, invisible gold, and KDA are all our favorite things. But so far, just a solid 5-point here from both sides. Again, no one really having that strong enough of a level 1 to go in. There's really no CC that any of these champions are going to have level 1 unless Vayne does something real weird with level and condemn or something. There's really not an invade presence from either team here.
Yeah, I mean there really isn't, and I think that's fine just because of the fact that again you're not having some aggressive support like an Alistair or a Blitz or anything like that. So 5-point is usually just going to be more of that common thing, or maybe you stack up 2 and just try to get some early poke, especially since you have the Karma and the Zhao who could kind of pair well together to do that.
Yeah, but definitely the biggest members on both of these teams here are going to be their mid laners. Kanye playing that Victor there, and of course Kaiten on the Victor, Azir, right? It's like, if either of these champions do get fed early on, that is going to be absolutely huge for once they do get to those team fighting states. They aren't split pushers, they aren't pick champions. No, they're 100% down for team fighting, and that is what they're trying to do. Now, you look at the engages on both of these comps. The only real primary engage that SOS has is from Xin Zhao, and a little bit if Project Blue tries to flash E in, right? But then you look at OMTC, and they have a much better engage.
Yeah, OMTC definitely has a little bit better engage, and I think that, oh god, he's getting poked out right now. But yeah, I think that's going to be interesting definitely to see is how well they can use that engage and try to abuse the spot lane here, especially just because, like you said, who are they really going to funnel? If you can't get Key going, then you're going to have to get Kanye going, and they're going to have to make that decision, I'm sure, soon. By the point that Xin hits 6, they need to figure out, okay, can we get Vayne ahead early on, or can we get Kanye going? And if you can't get either, you gotta get something going somewhere. So go either way at that point. So, but yeah, I mean, everything looks pretty normal. You see that Azir is having that early CS lead onto the Victor.
Oh, potentially a level 3 Scuttle fight here on the top side. Both junglers did start bot side. Smite coming out from both of them. Scuttle is secured by Warhead. Flash coming out from Project Blue. Spy's forced to flash defensively though, and Warhead does not have his flash left, and it's just gonna be all the flashes burnt for that top Scuttle, but no actual first blood found quite yet.
No first blood found yet, but definitely good because then now Spies doesn't have flash, Prophet doesn't have flash, so that way when Warhead comes in, even though he's missing his flash, he'll be able to still get a good gank off onto the Urgot here.
Yeah, Prophet actually flashed offensively there. That is not something you get to see very much from this low level of an Urgot. Urgot spikes very hard once he hits that level 9 to fully max his first ability. That is his real first power spike. He's not a level 6 power spiker, so seeing him flash that far forward when you are this low level is, I mean, it forced Spies to still flash away, right? But even then, that is very aggressive playing early game.
Yeah, really good. I mean, and you saw the fight there. I mean, even if Prophet didn't come down, I mean, Spies is most likely going to be dead just because of the fact that, you know, Udyr is still strong. That's what I said, like, fighting early on, I still really want to give it more towards Warhead if it's a one-on-one matchup. So Spies, yeah, he has to get something going. Otherwise, he's going to be not doing well early and could fall off in that mid to late game quicker than you'd like.
Yeah, and Spies is the only early game pressure here for SOS. And you see Opa on the Verisair flash coming out from Zephyr in the mid lane. Exhaust onto Kanye. Does have that flash, did not have to use it in the Scuttle fight. And that's just both summoners burn from Zephyr for, again, no kills and not even a summoner burn from Kanye.
Yeah, no summoner burn from Kanye, and I mean, just good heads-up play to kind of realize, like, hey, yeah, I need to get out of here for the fact that jungler's coming in and played it well. So great in aspect. He is going to burn the TP to get back to the lane faster. He does have the Xin Zhao posturing over there as we look at the minimap, so, and does have the Pingu going in. So most likely we might see. Oh no, I guess not.
There is a tiny 700 gold lead currently in favor of OMTZ, and that entire gold lead is on Kaitan's head right now. The only real member having a CS lead, and even then, it's only 10. That is how slow and how methodical this early game has been. Neither team wants to risk their late game power spikes this early on into the game. Solo laners are just now hitting level 6, so that could spark a couple fights, especially once the junglers start hitting level 6 here in a couple minutes as well. That could spark some fights, but right now it is slow, it's methodical, it's everyone knows we are just trying to scale up into the mid game.
Yeah, and it's fine. It's kind of like we feel like it's like what was it, LPLs or LCK, where they're very slow in the beginning and then they like ramp up that mid to late game because it's just like one to good team, 2 team fights, and then the game's over. That's kind of where we're at right now. It's like, hey, we just need to farm, get to that point where we have some good team fights, and then we'll see some more action. But that's fine. Prophet's going in, but I don't know if he wants to.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to. He is fighting entirely in Ridley's wave. He is going to miss that Fear of Beyond Death here as well. And Ridley, looking for a first blood, he is able to secure a solo kill on a Shen into an Urgot matchup. Now that is impressive.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's really unfortunate for Prophet. If he hits that ultimate there, it would
better.
be a little better. I don't know if he necessarily gets Ridley in that process. But it would make maybe Ridley think twice about trying to keep fighting more so on with that. But again, good job by Ridley to secure that. Ooh.
Spies trying to clear his chickens here. Zephyr is here looking for a second kill of the game, secured by Kaitan as well. Spies just trying to take his chickens, man. He was hungry, and just like that, at a flip of a hat, 2,000 gold lead in favor of OMTZ.
Yeah, just great job by them. Just realizing that, hey, he's in the jungle here, let's just go after him and make sure that, you know, he doesn't hit level 6. And this is where that kind of leads going with Warhead. Warhead's now already level 6. He can get pretty much at least an ability in all 4 of his stances and can still be very strong and potent to the point of, okay, any gank will most likely go well for him. Zephyr's up here, though.
Zephyr still sitting level 5, not very close to level 6, about 25% of the way leveled up to 6 here. But Project Blue doesn't know that. Project Blue, as far as he knows, Zephyr could be 99% to level 6. So it is very worrying trying to walk into that top side river, right, with the Rift Herald. Warhead could just go and take that completely uncontested right now. He has 2 levels on Spies, thanks to how fast Udyr can clear. Spies, he has to look for some ganks here very soon, or else he's just going to be completely out-leveled by Warhead. Project Blue looking for a 1v1 here in the top lane, using that E offensively, but again, Ridley is now very ahead on this Shen, has the fully completed tier 2 boots as well as a Cinder, which is far more ahead. Prophet not even having any boots right now, so Ridley has a lot that he is able to tank before Prophet is actually going to be able to kill him, even if he does have ult.
Yeah, even if he does have ult, I mean, oh, Prophet's doing a lot right now, but we have speeds coming up.
Prophet going in here once again. Spies and Warhead have arrived. Fear Beyond Death is going to go wide once again. Zephyr roaming up here as well, forces the flash out from Prophet as well as Spies, and just with 1W, getting 2 flashes, I would say definitely worth for OMTZ.
Oh yeah, I mean, Zephyr with the, I keep saying Zephyr as Zephyr with the footwork, just doing really well there, and didn't even have the quickness. Like, it still gets 2 flashes. He's still level 5, and they're thinking like, hey, like he's really a big threat, and because he's gonna hit 6 here with this wave, and honestly, he didn't, which is still good enough that, again, he'd take 2 flashes out, they get away safely. But now that means this Rift Herald does go over to OMTZ in that case.
Yeah, first Dragon, first Rift Herald going the way of OMTZ. And Zephyr, I mean, I think this man's forgotten that he signed up to play support. I think he actually thinks he's playing jungle now, as I have not seen him bot lane, I have not seen him mid lane even, just hovering around topside, hovering with Warhead to make sure that this early game presence that they were originally lacking is now actually very strong. As I did want to talk about how Oppa did start the tier on Varus, so he is going for that mid-game poke more so than he is actual early game presence like he do sometimes pick Varus for, but with that, it allows Zephyr to roam around the map, and he doesn't have to stick onto his Varus. He can stick onto anyone else, and right now it's either Kaiden or Warhead.
Yeah, look at this. Ridley is just, again, abusing the Twilight Assault, man. Like I said it on, like, it's really good for trading, just because that 3rd hit will always proc grasp, so you're always getting that extra damage out, you heal back, and even though Prophet does have Conqueror, you can't get those big conk stats going out, and because of that, it's going to be rough. Ooh.
Ult is going to land onto Kanye here. He has that flash available, but Warhead, he does so... My gosh, Kanye is able to flash it out, but Macmins might not be as lucky. He flashes, but he's exhausted. He's going to be falling down for Warhead. Prophet here could be the next one on the table. Zephyr finally hitting level 6 on the Rakan, but the quickness is not going to be enough to find the kill on the Prophet.
No, and they're going to pop the Rift here at this point because they know, hey, we burned the flash on Kanye. We have Prophet really roll right now. He's getting abused by the Sand Soldiers. Like, oh.
Oh, Zephyr could be caught out here by Key, but Spy's going in on the Kainai. I mean, yes, Oppa doesn't have any mana, right? But it's still really hard to find an engage onto an Azir Varus.
Yeah, it's really hard to find an engage on that. But it's also the fact that, again, when you look at the draft of this, like, they drafted really well. I'm going to say that for OMTV. Just because of the fact that, hey, you know, you want to go in? Well, we have Zeus, you know. Hey, you want to go in on Warhead? Yeah, it might happen. That might happen. He can run his stances and get away with it, but we are most likely going to see... Yeah, they're not contesting it. We're going to see first Drake here, or second Drake, sorry, go over to SOS here. And now we're going to see an Infernal Assault. Ooh.
Yeah, that second Drake, despite the 4,000 gold lead in favor of OMTZ, SOS able to pick it up because of the recall times even from OMTZ. If they tried to fight for that dragon, yes, they have a 4,000 gold lead, but that gold lead was unspent at that time. So if they did it right then, that could have been a very large throw, and it's only a second dragon. It's not a third, it's not a soul point, it's not a soul. You can definitely give that up very easily, and then once you do have all your resets and have an actual realistically spent gold lead, then you can look to fight for those more dragons.
Right, and you can fight for more of those dragons, and even it'll be a real big issue. But I mean, this is the thing that we have to look at is right now, Ivar is still down a little bit in CS, which is okay because he was kind of having a solo against a 2v1 for a little bit, but still as big as presence known because he had a really good ultimate and was able to push out Kanye earlier on. So now this is why Kanye can definitely get ganked at this point and has to kind of sit more on his tower. As we see, Rakan is looking to maybe jump over the wall here. Oh, no, he's killing War.
No, wards are much more tasty for supports, definitely. I'm gonna have to agree with that one. Even more tasty than chickens. Zephyr still sitting with the lowest XP on the map, but you're playing Rakan, and especially you're playing Rakan into the counter matchup of Karma. So you're really not playing for bot lane on this champion, and once you do manage to hit that level 6 to have your ultimate available, that's all you need. Stats do not matter on this champion. The only stat that matters is how much you're able to hit your RW.
Exactly, and that's the thing is he's kind of playing more of that like team-oriented support, whereas you have McMitten's playing more of that I need to kind of help and protect my ADC kind of support. So there's always going to be that little bit of difference. That's always that kind of different style that some supports like to play too. So again, it also depends on your comp of what you're going to be doing. But yeah, there's still a lot that can play the Karma in that case and still will be that roam support. So.
Yeah, you see 3 mythics currently completed for OMTZ, only to the 1. Now, it is a core drinker, so it is a very powerful mythic on Spies, but still, 1 to 2, 3 mythics will be very rough if there are any fights in the next couple minutes before you start getting mythics specifically onto Kanye and Key Gaming, right? It's these 2 members on SOS that you are watching. When they start getting gold, that is when they're really going to start having those power spikes. It's McMittens. He was waiting in the bush, but was it actually him waiting for a kill? As now Colt coming in from the top side here. Shen finally finding the team fight for OMTZ. Key Gaming completely on his own, completely isolated. Warhead picked up his second kill of the game, and Kanye, he's able to walk it out, but Spies was forced to flash away.
Spies was able to get away, and because of that, now that's why, okay, it's just unfortunate that Key goes down, because, again, key part of this comp is Vayne's gotta get fed, or Victor's gotta get fed.
Yeah.
And right now, we're not really seeing either.
Oh no, that's a really good prediction W there from Zephyr. Unfortunately, it is not going to land, but it does not matter. Spies just not even able to touch his Gromp anymore. His jungle is not his jungle now, as Prophet forced to flash away from the sheer presence of Chitin in that tri-brush.
Yeah, it's like the meme of like this, like I am the captain now. No. This is my jungle now. Look at me. This is my jungle. So it's unfortunate for Spies in that case, but now this just shows again why Warhead and Chitin are just being that dominating duo that they can go and pretty much go anywhere and freely take away either jungle, wards, get kills in that process. So it's definitely something that SOS needs to worry about, is trying to get a kill either on Chitin or Warhead right now. They all have bounty gold except for
right? It's currently a perfect game for OMTZ. 0 kills on the board for SOS. They could be looking to find his first one here onto Zephyr, but trying to catch out a Rakan is not an easy task, even if you are a Karma plus Vayne, right? It's like, Zephyr, he's very slippery. You have an R, you have a W, and you don't have a flash right now, but that will be coming up here in a few minutes for most likely an engage. I don't think at this point Zephyr needs to use this flash defensively. He can definitely use it to to find more kills for himself, as Ridley having a level lead onto Prophet could look for a kill, but his tower is about to fall.
Yeah, his tower is definitely about to fall, but I don't think there's really a reason to fight. I mean, you see it with the Titanic Hydra. He is getting poked out right now at this point, so you really should just give it up and try to help out here. Ooh.
Mac? Okay. that was Mac just trying to steal the dragon and giving me a little bit of a heart attack right there. But no, that was OMTZ's taking their second dragon of the game, now stacking an Ocean and one Infernal. Of course, it is them Infernal Souls, so could be looking to have 3 Infernal Dragons on either team. A very powerful dragon. I think probably the most powerful dragon to stack.
I would agree. This is definitely probably the most powerful. Oh my god.
Warhead? Okay. It's okay. Maybe not. Oh my gosh, he's actually gonna force the flash and just find the first kill for himself onto Macman's. Prophet TPing in from behind. They're looking for the first kill for SOS. Still not able to find the kill. Finally onto Warhead, really falling right after 4 manning the bot lane here from SOS. Able to pick up 2 quick kills for themselves, looking to close this gold lead, but now Opa ulting in to immediately flash away. Kaiten arriving with ultimate from himself though, and now there is so much damage, smacking him around with the walls. Triple kill for Kaiten on the Azir, and any hope that SOS had of winning that fight, you had the numbers advantage, is just taken away by the Sand Soldiers.
Yeah, and you said it too earlier on, like, anytime they get into a team fight, and if Kaiten comes around with the Azir and gets those soldiers up, it's gonna be a lot of damage. Oh, hey, they settled back.
Okay, I got real worried. I honestly thought Kaiten was gonna turn that around and just be like, "You stop my back, I'll like kill you instead, man."
I gotta send you the fountain. Like, I want to go to the fountain. No, you're going back
going to
the fountain.
You're gonna decide who.
But yeah, like you said earlier, like the Sand Soldiers are gonna always be an issue. And again, great job by Ivar just to be able to go and use a Chain of Corruption to get that CC going and flash perfectly over the wall to his team, so that way they can kind of help up set up that kind of like choke point that once they had all the Sand Soldiers down there doing a lot of damage and Emperor's Divide went out, it's like, oh my god, like,
yeah,
it's like a wet dream for Azir. But yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, I'm loving again why we picked OMTZ, because they're showing why this comp works really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because now Azir 2 items is really starting to come online. He is 504, almost 10 CS a minute here on this Azir pick. Absolutely huge. As now Opa face checking Prophet on the Urgot. As much as you might be ahead, you are still an 80 carry, my friend. Prophet picking up his second kill of the game up there in top lane, but Key Gaming might be finding the same fate here in the bottom lane. Kind looking for a 6th kill, and he is able to secure it.
Yeah, and you know what, they're like, hey, we're gonna send Varus up there, and then maybe not in the Prophet. That's probably not a good idea, because you're not Ezreal. You can't just shift away. Can't play safe or anything like that. So a little unfortunate, but yeah, they're like, you know what, your ADC's right here too. Let's just go kill him. So 1-for-1 trading ADCs, it's okay. Not that Ivar isn't really doing a lot, but you have to look at it. It's only he's 1, 2, and 4. He's got almost full stacks on the Mana coming up soon. He does have the Serpent's Fang, which actually is really great because of the fact that you have Prophet with a shield, and it also cuts out Mac Mitten's shields that he'll be putting out, either if it's just the little one or Mantra, and especially works well for into Victor. So
yeah,
smart pickup early on.
Yes, Serpent's Fang first item is not something that you see a whole lot, and I think it's actually a really strong item for both teams here, because if Key Gaming picks up Serpent's Fang as well, that's going to cancel out Rakan passive, that's going to cancel Kain's E. I think Warhead is going to be having some shields building into his build later on, and then of course, the biggest one, Shen ult. You can cancel out that ult if you just build the one item very similar to a QSS tax. At this point, it's almost turning into a Serpent's Fang tax.
Right, yeah. A Serpent's Fang stack is unfortunate sometimes that people have to get, but it also just shows that, hey, now you kind of make these champions very obsolete, and it's a multifunctional thing at least compared to just being like, okay, I'm going against Mark Kaiser, I need to buy QSS kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So at least it's for multiple champions, not just one champion. So that's the good thing, I guess.
10 seconds here on this next Infernal Dragon would be the soul point for OMTZ, or soul point for OMTZ, or just second dragon for SOS. I mean, right now, it looks like it's going to be completely uncontested from SOS. They know that they're down 6,000 gold. They know that a 5v5 is very unrealistic, especially with Prophet not having his TP up, and Ridley, you can assume that he's got his ult up at any moment in this game now. He's only used it once or twice, and it is a very long cooldown, but now being level 14, he has a lot more CDR, and having 2 points in it will have the cooldown quite a bit. Prophet face checking here is level 14 up on him, but with the rest of OMTZ, how far is he able to run away? Stand United coming in just to make sure that OMTZ isn't going to die either, and that is the 13th kill on the board for them. Baron up on the table as well.
Yeah, and they're going to start the Baron here at this point. They know they can get it with no contest because of the fact that they see Xin as bot lane. They see that the bot and basically Vayne and Karma here are sitting in mid. So what's the point of worrying about not taking this at this point? So great job by them. Also, Urgot didn't like go down like super easy either. It took a while. Even though they had 5 there.
There were 5 people hitting him, as I don't think that's what the blast going to go, my friend. Ski Gaming. It's just a matter of who finds the kill on him, and Mac Vins going down in the support fashion to Zephyr, the opposing support.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that you have SOS getting caught out here in the red side jungle, and now it's kind of like, okay, well, what do they got to do to get back in here? And I think we have to look at that. They need more Drakes, because now that they're on soul point for OMTZ, they need to get some more turrets, some more Drakes. Hopefully stop maybe another Baron in that case, because you did have to give up 2 Rifts and a Baron now to OMTZ early on. So hopefully they could get something.
Yeah, hopefully as Prophet, again, looking for a potential 1v1. They are finally even in levels again. It has always been like a flip-flop of who has the higher level up here in the top lane, but both sitting level 15, both are very powerful in a 1v1, especially with the Baron on Ridley, right? His ult is going to be burned by Prophet, but I don't think he has enough damage to actually finish it off and to execute. Ranged Warhead wanting up here as well to make sure that Ridley doesn't die, and now it being a 2v2, Prophet again not having ultimate up anymore, but he is still able to find one pick before he goes down to Warhead.
Yeah, I mean, he unfortunately does go down, but oh!
Flash from Spies, looking for the kill onto Kind. This would be a huge shutdown. Zephyr flashing in though, and that is the huge ult once again coming out from Zephyr. You thought you could kill him, well, you thought wrong this time. Gold being funneled onto Opa Ivor instead. Chitin, you thought he was gonna get picked off? Absolutely not. It is the ace for OMTZ.
He's got those 808 bumps going out right now as he definitely is showing why this Azir pick is really strong. He's gotten the Sand Soldiers out doing a lot of damage. He had the turret up there, and he threw all of them with his Emperor's Divide into it. So it's like, why are you guys trying to fight him there and everything? And it's a little unfortunate, but I get that.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of game 1 here, taken very convincingly by OMTZ, having, I believe that was a 12,000 gold lead there at the end of the game here. SOS, once again, they need to take the series to be able to secure themselves playoffs 100%. They can still make playoffs by losing this series, but it will have to come down to a tiebreaker.
Yeah, it would definitely come down to a tiebreaker in that case, but I think
Wait,
now...
the damage charts?
Oh, I didn't even look at the damage charts. Oh my god, how bad.
My gosh.
Oh my gosh. How... Yeah, out damage the Azir. How?
I'm much more concerned about the 1,400 damage that Key Gaming did. He got out damaged by Rakan and Karma. What? How's that possible?
Well, you have to look at, so every time those team fights happened, they were definitely targeting him right away. So this way, Silver Bullets weren't really proccing in that case, and the fact that if they're able to kind of shut out the Vayne early and could get more of that spike onto, again, Azir, Udyr was able to do a lot with that. And they did get some kills onto Varus, so because of that, now it just makes their team go run a lot smoother in that case and everything, but it just in that counter aspect, it means that someone else is suffering, which means it's unfortunately Vayne. And look at it, under 4,000 for Xin Zhao there. That's like
Yeah.
you never want to see that because
Damaged by Karma.
yeah, like Karma out damage him. Now again, I understand that Karma was in a lot more fights, was trying to pick off and different things. Same thing with the Urgot, because Urgot's trading, wet noodle fight usually in the top lane there and everything. And yeah, I mean, this is crazy to kind of just think about that those two just weren't able to do damage. So,
It's
but
crazy.
maybe it'll change next time.
Yeah, as crazy as it was, this is still a best of 3, which means we need to go into game 2 here very shortly. But with that, we will be going to a short break here now. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back with your game 2 here tonight. Welcome back, everyone, to the final week before playoffs here in Runeterra Sophomore Academy. Once again, I'm Camcom, joined by Gigatron here on the desk. OMTZ taking on Blue Side here in this game 2 of the best of 3. Currently 1-0 up on SOS.
Yeah, they're up right now on SOS, and then that means now that if SOS loses this game, their fate into playoffs is not in their hands anymore. So, but we do see some pretty good. Oh, you troll banning, really?
They were hovering Ivern and Yumi, and I mean, I guess Yumi's not a troll ban if you've been watching Worlds, but like, I still consider Yumi a troll ban.
Yeah, I mean, Yumi's kind of counterable, but you also just have to look at like you just don't want to deal with her at the same time too. So, but I think the MF is definitely a better ban, especially since that's been very popular with Worlds and has performing very well too.
Yeah, and Udyr is going to be locked in for OMTC again here. Once again, very strong blind pick. We saw him a lot last season and earlier in this season. He was buffed on the last patch, which is why you have started to see him, as well as Hecarim, his other lovely jungle friend that everyone loves to see, buffed also last patch. So I would not be surprised to see another Hecarim either in this series or another one. But Udyr being up there on the table, Lilia, flex pick between top and jungle, locked in for SOS.
Yeah, and that's the kind of nice thing now is she's been giving more of that flex role where everyone's always thought, oh, she's just going to be in jungle and everything like that. So now this shows, hey, maybe they could play it, in this case. But I wonder who they're going to pick second here.
I would
Kai'Sa.
assume a support. Oh, or a Kai'Sa. All right. Kai'Sa, I think she's fallen quite a bit out of the meta recently because of how low her range is compared to other champions, and because she is one of the few 2-item power spike champions on AD carry, right? She's not a 1-item power spike, which means she's not an early game champion, and she's not a 3-item power spike, which means she's not a late game champion. She's got some weird spot in the middle, which is just not really where our champions like to be in this type of meta, where you're either early game, you're either late game, and then mid game. If you spike in mid game, it's not as strong.
Exactly, and since it's not as strong right now, that's part of the problem is when you have Ezreal, Varus, MF, and Aphelios, and Lucian right now, who are kind of like the top 5 that you'll see is standard ADCs, not those APCs that like to go ADC for some reason. But when you look at Kai'Sa, yeah, she is more middle of the pack to lower, which is kind of unfortunate because normally she was. I mean, we saw at Worlds last year, she was really good, last season, and was good early on this season, but a little unfortunate there. But now we do see that this time around they add in the Shen instead of...
Okay.
Why do I not remember when they banned the first time around? They banned Tristana.
Tristana and Mordekaiser from SOS, and then set Cassiopeia from OMTC. But yeah, so far, the same exact 3 champions have been picked from OMTC, so banning at least one of them out will make at least the top laner play a different champion. It won't be that Shen here once again. Now, I do want to talk about the spot lane matchup because all of the champions have been locked in here. Varus, number 1 counter to Kai'Sa. Thresh, number 1 counter to Rakan here in the bot lane. Varus outranges Kai'Sa. Varus hits his power spike at level 1, which can delay Kai'Sa's item 2 power spike for a very long time, whereas Thresh, he can just straight up E Rakan out of his W, and his E is a lower cooldown than Rakan's W. And when you do flay him out of his W, it actually cancels the knockup, which is something that not a lot of people realize, I think. So Thresh is a very strong pick here in the bot lane.
Yeah, you just gotta get some, you have to pay attention to that just because of the fact that you gotta land that perfectly just to make sure it happens, because, I mean, you can misplay, it happens, but, yeah. Now when I look at this, though, they did pick up Graves, which makes me think, okay, well, where's Graves going now? Because obviously he could be flexed into 3 lanes now. You can go mid, jungle, or top. You have a Lilia who's also flex between top and jungle right now, so it's like, well, where's he going? Where's she going now? It's like confusing me, like, at this point. I'm assuming it's a Graves top because we've been seeing that a lot more lately. I would say in most of the leagues and in Worlds, but might not be. as we see that Aatrox is definitely going to be the counterpart. So I don't know if I'd really want to take Graves into that.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Graves mid actually recently through Masters Plus play. Now, we are in Sophomore League, which is not Masters Plus play, but still, Graves mid is a very strong choice, especially as an actual counter to mages. So OMTC locking in Syndra right after seeing Graves, maybe they didn't realize that it could go mid, but Graves is a very strong lane bully champion, surprisingly, which we have seen a lot more in top lane through Worlds, but in higher elo Masters Plus play, I've seen it a lot more in the mid lane as Malphite locked in for R5 for SOS does definitely lock in that Lilia jungle Graves mid.
Yeah, and I agree. Yes, that's why I said he is being flexed into 3 roles now, just because, or 3 lanes at least, because of the fact that again Graves has got those nice buffs, recently in the last couple patches, and because of that, he's able just to show more of why he's a really good champion that can just be flexed around, and the fact that now you can go into soul lanes instead of just being in jungle just shows that, hey, this is not something you're gonna want to go against. You're definitely gonna want to watch this mid lane though, like you said, because this means then he's able to go in on Syndra, but Syndra can still poke away from far away and should not be able to be hit from the shotgun blasts, kind of thing as much. But we do have the Malphite. Malphite's gonna be interesting. I think that's gonna be good wombo combos between, you can throw a smoke screen into Unstoppable Force, and then you get a good box with a flay and a hook. Oh my.
Yeah, that is a very strong wombo combo, but I'm actually more expecting this Malphite to build AP because yes, you have that wombo combo, but I think this is much more of a pick comp than an actual team fight comp because Graves and Kai'Sa, they are much better at picking champions off Thresh, especially as well. So Malphite, yes, he can wombo combo, but that wombo is very hard to hit actually, because if Graves doesn't have a smoke screen up, very long cooldown. If Thresh doesn't have his Q up, also a very long cooldown. And especially if you miss either one of those, Malphite is just like, well, I guess I have to go in, and I hope that going in is going to hit more than one person.
I mean, if he's close enough, the other thing is he can throw out his shard, so then that way he slows down someone and then can hit that Unstoppable Force a little bit easier. But doesn't mean then that it's gonna hit, because again, there's this lovely summoner spell called Flash where people can get away. So or if you get the fancy feat coming out from Rakan here or Udyr, just being able to cycle through his stances, that I mean that's going to be, I think, part of the problem for them. But like we kind of saw early on, they picked those first 3 champions that were in last game, and yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, but unfortunately, they have to with the ban of the shed. So, I think Aatrox is a good choice here. Aatrox is very highly picked now in the top lane, and it's just does a lot of damage. Good sustain. You can trade with a lot of the bruisers and tanks, and it's a scary thought. I mean, people look at Urgot and was like, okay, well, maybe this is gonna be interesting, with last game, and now it's like you see Aatrox, you're like, oh no. I if I see an Aatrox, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would just leave. I'm being solo queue. I don't want to deal with it. I'd rather play it or ban it out. I mean, if I can't play it or I don't feel like playing it, you just don't want to go into it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And with OMTZ being 1-0 up in this series here, Gigatron, who do you think is going to be taking this game to?
Yeah, I'm looking at, since it is similar comp again, just only a little different. You won't have again the the easy TP from Shen anymore, but you still have High Burst coming out from Syndra and Chitin, and you have a really good bruiser again onto Ridley. Whereas you have, again, like we just talked about, more of that pick poke comp coming out from SOS here. I'm gonna probably still give it to OMTZ, but doesn't mean that SOS can't take a game here, just because of the fact that they could just run their pick comp very well, and might just be able to pick out Varus, who really can't move a lot. Same thing with Chitin here on Syndra, isn't able to move a lot. You do have the pushback, and you can stun people, if you get a ball with it and everything, but doesn't mean that once that's used, that means that Lulia could go in, Graves can go in, Kaisa could follow up in, and everything like that. So yeah, let's see how kind of these team fights go. But I think I'm still going to give the edge again to OMTZ just because of the comp's a little bit more simpler again too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about actually. Is SOS, they have a very strong comp. I like their comp much more here in game 2 than I did in game 1,
Mhm.
but pick comps are much harder to execute than team fight comps, right? You can't just all 5 run at them and know that you're gonna win it because you have the better comp, right? No, you have to look for a pick beforehand. You have to know how to set up visions that you're not getting picked off, and then you have to be able to time your spells right with each other to find that pick to play to your comp strengths. Whereas with teamfight comps, you run at them. That is the essence of teamfight comps, right? If you're good at running them, you're good at teamfight comps. So with that, with OMTC also having a much more well-rounded comp, it's again much more a strong early game from the bot lane. You've got the mid game and the top side with Aatrox and Udyr, and then Syndra can be that insurance policy for the later stages of the game if we do get there. So I'll be giving a slight edge over to OMTZ here as well. But with spectator delay ticking down, we will be heading into a short break here as we do go into game 2. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Week 7 here in Runeterra Sophomore League. I am Camcom, joined by Gigatron here on the desk once again. SOS currently 0-1 against OMTC. They need to win this game to secure themselves in playoffs. They don't need to win the whole series anymore. Just this one game is what I've been told.
Don't quote us on that, but this is from what we've kind of quick maths out. This should be just SOS needs a game in order to go in. But right now it looks like we have Thresh kind of posturing up with the Kaisa, followed up now by the Lilia and the Graves. We might get that level 1 invade that definitely both teams could do, but I think is definitely a little bit more executed coming out from SOS here.
Yeah, assuming that Mac Mittens did level Q, which he did actually take that death sentence first, level 1 here, which, I mean, it's much more fun to take that than Flay, right? Like, you gotta love leveling Q, whether you miss it or you hit it. It's just much more fun spell, right? Unfortunately, it does look like they are going to look for the late invade here. Level 1 only bringing the bot lane plus spies, and through the use of that oracle, they know SOS don't know.
Oh no.
Hook is going to hit onto Zephyr there, forced to flash away on the Rakan level 1 Warhead, still taking damage from the red buff here, going to be transitioning that damage now over to OMTZ. Warhead still holding on to that flash. Kanye has lots of lane presence here in the mid lane because, of course, it is a Graves mid, and it looks like red buff was able to be secured by spies, and Warhead, now at half HP, has to go walk very sadly up to clear his blue buff on his own.
Yeah, and because of that, it's a little unfortunate. You do have to deal with that now. Whittier coming on late, has to go up top. Doesn't really have anything other than Tiger Stance. I know. Oh no, he'd start chicken. Oh no, he leveled up. All right. So I had the ultimate. Right? I was like, wait a second, you started chicken first. You don't do that. But yeah, no. Unfortunately, it's go up top then. So now you lost both your toucans and your red buff, unfortunately, to the late invade coming out from the bot lane there. But you saw it worked well because of the fact that they did put out a lot of damage. You had a Death Stance land in that first fight there. Unfortunately, it doesn't land here. But yeah, uh-oh. Malphite's getting poked out a lot here. Ooh.
Yeah, Prophet has been losing a lot of the extended trades up here in the top lane just because Ridley, he's playing the Aatrox. He's gonna heal, and he's gonna heal a lot. Prophet did take Corrupting Pot here as well and has used all 3 of them. So he's run out of his mana and his life regen at this point. So now you don't really need Econ on this champion though. As yes, Prophet was playing Urgot very strongly, very well last game. Highest damage in the game in game 1, and now you stick him on Malphite. This is an incredibly low econ champ. He does not need any gold. He does not need any ganks. He does not need literally anything. He hits level 6, very similar to Rakan. You know he is going to be useful.
Yeah, I was gonna say he needs a little econ. Little econ is hitting 6. Once you hit 6, you don't have to worry about anything in that case. But oh wow, look at that early burst coming out from Kanye. Woo! Titan just trading back though, saying, "Hey, you know what? We both can burst. Settle down."
Yeah, and that was kind bursting him down on just a quarter of mana, right? That's how these mages are supposed to be balanced, is through the use of mana. And the fact that you can do a quarter of someone's HP with just like an eighth of your mana bar, that seems a little bit more than just being balanced through the use of mana.
Now, let's also be fair. Graves also gets more protection against armor compared to magic resistance. So, but oh my.
Prophet being taken down real low here, but he is going to be able to make it out. Ivar forced to flash away as well as heal again just through the presence of spies. The deaths will go wide just a little bit. Macmans could actually be in trouble here as Opa still does a lot of damage here on an early game Varus, and you can tell he knows that he's playing for early game this time. Zephyr has not roamed once. Very different to game 1, and Ivar did not start tier either.
Yeah, I think you have to look at it as a different style again, based on the champion that you see on the other side, which is the Thresh, who unfortunately misses the hook again there. But you see that again, you have the tank that you have to deal with compared to, you know, the squishy caster. So this time around, he's kind of looking like, hey, maybe I need to protect my bot laner that a little bit more. Still could be able to roam later on, but early stages still have to protect him in that case. I mean, he is up the level again on the supports, so, or both the ACs are up the level on the supports, but that's perfectly fine. I don't really think there's gonna be too much of an issue. Prophet's still up here. Oh, he did back. Okay. I was gonna say, I thought he was up here and somehow got all his health back. I'm like, wait a second. But we do see the Brainwolf has started first.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be needed because, yeah, that Aatrox is still healing pretty well, even though it's Doran's Blade and just the extra passive healing he gets from his autos.
Now, it was just confirmed here. SOS They only need to take this one game, and that will lock them in playoffs. They don't need to take the series. They are down one game currently, as Macman's going to be forced to flash away there on the Thresh. Exhausted, hitting him as well. Warhead does not have his flash actually to look for a stun, and it looks like Macman is actually going to be able to walk out of here alive. You see Kyton roaming down there from mid lane, does have level 6 on the Syndra, but through that roam, Kanye is now going to have a completely free recall time, and now he is up in items against Kyton.
Yeah, up in items on Kyton, but then that means that now Kyton, who has about 3/4 mana right now, still able going to be to trade and do a lot of damage for the fact that, yeah, Graves did go back, has a little bit more stuff now, but ooh, look at this.
Profit once again, man. This is what you were talking about. You see Aatrox, you dodged the video game if it is solo queue, but still Zephyr, he remembers what he did in game 1. He remembers, hey, I don't need to play for bot lane. Bot lane is the boring lane. I'm gonna go play for mid lane. As you see him, he doesn't actually force any summoner spells out of Kanye, which by the way, I just noticed he doesn't actually have that flash. He has Ignite. When you take Ignite, you're looking for early kills, you are looking for early presence, and you're looking for lane pressure. And so far, Kanye, he's found a grand total of one of those, and that being pressure.
Yeah, I mean, with the Ignite and the Flash, I mean, unfortunately, neither are down, but does it mean that he isn't going to be able to do Hypersec right now? Well, I guess unfortunately, the Q does not hit there. You get that full damage on the Kyton, but now Kyton's able to still, again, stay back, do a lot of damage. Kanye's roaming around. I'm guessing they're trying to find and pick out the, Warhead here.
Warhead could be picked out, trying to just secure his blue buff here. Currently, for the first time in this series, SOS, actually, no, I'm on the wrong slide here. OMTZ does still have the gold lead. For some reason, I thought SOS was on blue side. I'm sorry. No, OMTZ has the gold lead still, but it is only 400 gold. We are sitting at 8.5 minutes, very similar to game 1 here. Both sides playing it very slow, very methodical. No early kills before level 6 have popped.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too. So we had the early Drake ready to go to SOS. We have second Drake coming up here now in roughly 3 minutes and 20 seconds. We look at that right now. 1TZ is definitely clearing a lot of these wards. They're going to find a lot more here in this bot lane, and they're going to be able, or in the bot river at least, and they're going to be able to clear a lot of it out. So now they'll at least have better vision. They know that jungler could be coming anytime soon, so now this forces them to go gank top.
Ridley is going to be the first member here, ganked by Spies. Drowsy does pop onto him. He does have that flash available, but it is not going to matter. First blood found by Spies over there on SOS.
Yeah, and this is what you kind of have to look at is they're using more of that pick comp again. Not necessarily where they ideally maybe want to put it, maybe just because they want to take out Kyton or Ivar in that case.
Kanye? Semper finds himself his first kill of this game. Still sitting level 5 on the Recon, but it still does not matter. Kanye will still fall. Macman's gonna be next up here on the table. Warhead coming in from behind him, not where he thought the jungler was, as he's looking for another kill onto Key Gaming here, but you don't have any wave to be stacking up here. It's very dangerous to go for a dive with no wave, so he will just run up, hit the stun, and run away.
Yeah, definitely needs to run away. Now he knows that he can take at least the Gromp here just because of the fact that you're not having to worry about the Lilia being around or anything like that, because you see that Lilia is up here taking that scuttle, and now they'll have that little bit extra vision. But yeah, just really good there again by Spies to be able to get that first kill onto the Aatrox there, just because of the fact that Aatrox again gonna always be a problem, whether it's early or late game, just because of the fact that again just able to trade and do a lot of damage. I mean, you look at it, he's got the phage and he's got the Kindle gem. That alone gives him like a really good spike. He doesn't even have to have the whip or anything kind of setting up for the gore drinker. But oh my god.
Oh, Mac Bins, man, that is not where you want to be, my friend. Flashing away, but flashing right into the quickness there from Zephyr. There's not going to be any kills quite landing, but exhaust popped onto Kind, forced to flash away. Kanye does a lot of damage. Key Gaming able to hit that W, but still not enough damage coming out from the Killer Instinct. There's Spies picking up that kill onto Kind. Flash coming in for Profit, lands the ultimate onto Zephyr, finding himself a kill. Key Gaming getting an unofficial double kill there on the Kaisa.
Yeah, I mean, and this is you have to look at is, again, this pick comp able to still deal with the team comp and everything that is coming out from OMTZ, but unfortunately, they just didn't position themselves in the right spots, and the fact that they got that really good hook on a kite in there just shows that, hey, you need to worry about where you're putting yourself.
Whoa, flash from Zephyr there on to Spies. Hook does land onto Kanye. He took a couple more tower shots than he originally signed up for, and Ivar does not have his mythic yet, but it is not going to matter. Flash forward, finds the shutdown onto Ivar, but Spies, with an even bigger shutdown, is able to walk it out. But Ridley makes sure that that's not going to happen. Looking for the chickens, but instead finds a Lily at 150 shutdown going to Ridley.
Yeah, really just showing, hey, I don't need to be in this top lane anymore. Malphite can try to get some CS and everything. Obviously, he's a low econ champion. I don't have to worry about anything right now. And hey, let me go help out my mid lane here and get a quick kill. So now this puts him ahead a little bit, even more into the Malphite. We do see that the second Drake is picked up by OMTZ here. And yeah, I mean, everything else is pretty much even. They're only up by like 100 gold.
Yeah. Completely even CS, completely even gold lead, completely even on dragons. Once again, we have an Infernal Dragon here in game, or Infernal Soul even in game 2 here. A little bit of a dangerous bush if Kanye does face check it. I think he might. W is going to land on him. He does not have that flash available, but Lantern is going to be able to save his life and, more importantly, burn a very large cooldown off of Zephyr.
Wait. We have Infernal Drake again, a soul. Oh no. Oh no. Please don't tell me it's gonna be like last night. Last night I literally had 3 Infernal Drakes in a row.
Oh. Sorry.
Sorry. I know. I cut you off. Sorry.
That I don't know. My mind was just blown.
Like right now!
My mind is gonna be blown even more now as Profit with the flank angle on a Malphite somehow finds a double kill once again in the mid lane. Spies stacking up very strongly. Has Leandri's completed now on this Lily. He's gonna start doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, gonna be doing a lot of damage, and that just means that, hey, if they're able to do more,
pick potentially here on to Kanye, but unfortunately, once again, Ivar does not have that mythic completed quite yet. He does have the man immune, but not fully stacked either, so still fairly weak on this Varus. If he does land ult and has any follow-up, then he's going to be able to stack up his passive a lot more, but in very quick short trades, like right there, he's not that strong yet.
no, he's not that strong yet, but he can get there, and everything like that. Here's the other thing too. It's like Ivar tried to get it. I mean, and it's definitely close. I think it's just unfortunate that, again, Kanye just, again, you're dealing with Graves with his passive, just being able to build more of that armor resistance and just not being able to be poked out in that case. But now we see the Spies blue buff kind of posturing to maybe come bot side at this point, since you see that Kaisa's down there now, and they're gonna see that there's a ward in the tri-brush there, unfortunately. I guess it goes mid. Good stun.
Yeah, on the top side river there, I do want to talk about how much vision control that SOS does. Man, I keep mixing up the teams. OMTZ has up there. The blue side team has a lot of vision control up here on the top side of River Warhead. Find the scuttle for himself, but could be finding danger as Zephyr is not quite able to land that ultimate onto anyone thanks to the slow from Spies. Again, absolutely huge on the Slilly. And now we could have a potential Herald fight 4v4 up here on the top side. Missing Syndra and missing Kaisa Prophet. Landing the double ultimate onto the bot side. Remember, here's Ivor not allowed to walk around whatsoever. Exhaust landing perfectly onto him. Warhead just trying to run away, and it looks like Ridley could be the potential sacrifice here for OMTZ. Gonna try and find one kill, but unfortunately not enough damage. 2-0 in favor of SOS and the Herald on top of it.
Yeah, that was just a brilliant play right there by Mac Mittens. Mac Mittens gets that good hook onto Ivar, which then reveals, hey, someone's over here. You get the unstoppable force coming out from Prophet there and just gets that good damage onto the ADC. Makes Warhead have to peel off to the top, and because of that, now you have really try to come in. Almost secured that kill, but unfortunately his second and third hit of his Q did not land onto Mac Mittens. So unfortunately, you have to look at that. You know, we thought OMTZ was going to be potentially getting this one, but now it's kind of looking that SOS is trying to win this game, because I think they know that, hey, if we can win this game, you know, we're going into playoffs. So,
Yeah.
they're definitely trying to show it. I don't know how it's gonna go, but at this point, these team fights, they're definitely going into their side.
Yeah, 7 weeks of games have led up to this game. SOS, they need to find this win to make this 7 weeks worth it for getting into playoffs here. You lose this game, you are out of playoffs for SOS. OMTZ sitting very nicely, comfortably up there in third place. I'm not entirely sure how the tiebreakers work for second and first and third, because if they do win this series, then they would actually be up there tied on that same spot at being 6-1, I do believe, but still, we're still here. We still have a Dragonfly. Hook will land onto Ridley there. Hook is going to hit onto the backside, though. Ridley does a lot of healing. He's surviving for a very long time, and the engage is going to land on the backside. Prophet 1v3 here, though, does not do a lot of damage on the Malphite. Only here for distraction, only here for CC. He's still able to find one before falling down, but Ridley causing the same amount of problems on the backside of OMTC. Looking for one left onto Kanye. Spies finds one more onto Warhead even, and Zephyr, he does a lot of damage, kind of just about going to go down. Spies, he's 1v2 right now, about to be turning back into 1v3. Kanye arriving back in the fight. Double kill coming out for the Lilia for now, and now finding one more. Ridley about to go down. Zanya's gonna keep Spies alive. Double kill for both of these members, and the ace for SOS.
Yeah, SOS just playing it very well there. You had, you know, good engage coming out from Mac Mittens there, but you also had the Malphite just go in on the 3, do a 3v1, and take out still Ivar in that process, which, again, you really don't think he's got a lot of damage for the fact that all he has is a Frostfire, a Giant Spell, and a Thornmail. Like, you really don't think that's going to do a lot, but, again, we talked about, he doesn't need to have a super lot of gold on him still to do a lot, and just was able to get those nice autos and his abilities off in that process. So that means then, unfortunately, you see that really went up there, you know, try to take out the Graves in that process, but unfortunately Kanye was like, no, I'm going to whittle you down. I have my jungler here who is definitely taking on the 2v1 and doing very well. So great job by Spies there to, again, show why Lilia is really champion.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was probably the best scenario for a straight on 5v5 that OMTZ could find. They had a little bit of a gold lead beforehand, but we have another 2v2 happening up here in the top side. Warhead will have the hook land exhausted up as well, not allowed to walk away, but Kine landing the double knockup onto the other members. Prophet taking down real low, but Macmins could be the one actually falling. Ridley going over that wall, finding himself a double kill, looking for a quadra potentially, but he's taking down real low. Kanye again does so much damage, and that is, it's magically the end. And Ivar, he arrives a little bit too late here. He could fall to Spies as well, finding himself on the wrong side of Summoner's Rift. It is just a matter of time, finding the flash out from Spies and almost making it a 1-for-1 again before he falls.
Yeah, almost made it dead, but you did have the help of Kanye there. again, the high burst from Graves right now is unfortunately too much for OMTZ in that case, and that's why in that 2v2 they were doing well, and then it became that 3v3, and that 3v3 definitely just wasn't going in their favor. And once they had Ivar come by, I was just like, what are you doing over here, bud? I mean, we're gonna have a fun time, but I don't know if it's gonna be a fun time for you. Which, unfortunately, you do see that he does fall, and Spy somehow gets out of that in that process there. But again, this is one thing we're gonna look at is bot side here. Bot side has really good wards coming out from SOS. I know top side was definitely a little bit more MTZ, but now it's kind of trading back and forth here. Ooh.
Zephyr could be caught out by Prophet. He does have very easy leap target to there. Prophet sitting very strong, level 12 on the Malphite pick. A lot more gold than we originally thought he was going to be getting, as you do see 8, 1, and 6 that Spies does have, and 6, 2, 4 that Kanye. So that is your 80 and 8p damage threats, and Spy's Prophet is your tank threat. Flash coming in from Max, not going to land the hook, but Prophet is still able to land the ultimate Zephyr. Excellent charm into the backside, but unfortunately there's just no damage follow-up whatsoever. Ivar and Warhead forced to kite back. There is not a Lilting Lullaby to follow up that double bowling ball there, but still, 5-man still alive on SOS, looking to take that Baron.
Yeah, and Baron shouldn't really get contested at this point, just because of the fact that you have 3 missing now on the side of OMTZ. They are performing very well now here by SOS, and because of that, I think it's going to be really good for them that they get this Baron. Gives them that little bit of power spike. Actually, they see Udyr's out, so they might just go for him. I guess not. They're going to just push out this wave. And we're going to see Malphite's going to reset here. No, not resetting. No. But again, this just shows that, hey, again, this pick count is working well in this team count. And they're able to just have that high burst come out that, unfortunately, OMTZ is just not able to handle at this moment. I mean, they can eventually, but they gotta get like more of that like late game at this point, because now we're hitting this midpoint, and you look at that shield bow collector, and I'm assuming he is going Lord Doms when we see that last whisper there coming out from him. And he's just putting out a lot of damage, especially the Lilia too. Like you look at the jungle mid duo. This is definitely, I think, the better jungle mid duo right now, and I mean, it's crazy to think that basically 2 assassins are doing really well into Bruiser and Burst Mage. Like, it's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy here. I do definitely think SOS realizes they have to win this game, and with how strong this game too is looking for them, they could almost potentially take the series as well. But they have to, we're focused on this game here. They would make it 1-1 series score if they are able to take this game, and as of right now, with I believe a 7,000 gold lead in their favor, are looking like the favorites to take at least this game too here against the side of OMTZ. Of course, again, 8-1 and 8 on Spies. Kanye having 8 kills for himself as well. These are the 2 strongest members that you would want these kills on. At this point, Kaisa, she's a little bit past her prime. She does have that 2 items, looking to have that LDR on the 3rd. Eventually, Ivar will start matching her in damage once he does complete his own LDR, but Hook is going to land on the Warhead, trying to flash away, but there is just nowhere left safe to flash to. Prophet is actually not going to land that ultimate, but Double Sleepy will land onto both Zephyr and Ivar. No follow-up engage can be found. Bottom lane inhib taken away from OMTZ, looking to take that mid as well.
Yeah, we're gonna take this mid, no problem here. And now this shows again why this Baron and his team is doing well, because they're able to take out Warhead no problem. They got to push off the bot lane duo there coming out from OMTZ, and now they're just able to just go take away all these jungle camps from OMTZ.
Yeah, Warhead, he's been been largely stunted. He still has more CS than Spies at this very moment, but like you're saying, he only has Wolves left to take on the map, and he doesn't even know that those are alive right now. So he's gonna have to waste a lot of time running through his bot side jungle, looking to see if anything's up, and then he'll realize my top side just spawned. Maybe I should go take those, but no, he's kept up in farm very well, despite how poorly this game has been going so far for OMTC. Really, all three solo lanes are still ahead in CS. Again, you don't really need to be ahead in CS and if you are Malphite, right? But still, you are up there on the CS charts.
Yeah, definitely up there. I mean, you look at it like it's just across the board. Everyone's pretty much over 170 now at this point on OMTZ, and pretty much almost the same for SOS here. Unfortunately, yeah, the Malphite being a little behind, but we don't count him because again he's low econ. So, oh my god.
Oh, coming out from Prophet there onto both Chitin and really the solo laners now being the targets here of OMTZ, but surviving for so long. Guard looking to turn this back around. Tower damage doing a lot to Prophet, and despite finding that double ultimate there is still no kills to be found. Tower will stand for at least a few more seconds.
Yeah, Tower will stand here, and yeah, I mean this shows that hey, they need to get back. They need to try to stop more of this bleeding that unfortunately is going to be happening upon them. Oh, that
Drowsy is going to land flash onto Ivor. There is no more AD carry left on the map for OMTC. Where did he go? 5-man still coming in the top lane here. SOS looking to take this top inhibitor and possibly look to take the game here as well. Spies doing a lot of damage to Ridley. Doesn't have the ultimate available quite yet. Will be up here in a little bit. But Prophet again does not have the unstoppable force available either. But it is not going to matter. Nexus is open. Nexus is there. Playoffs is about to be secured by SOS's. Only thing left between them and the Nexus is Chitin.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too is like when you said, you know, where'd he go? I mean, he got sent to the gray screen. That's what happened, and just unfortunately, you see that OMTZ doesn't get the win here to kind of just secure out everything. Makes it more difficult. Still, they thought they were going to make it more difficult for SOS, but SOS does come out with the win here, which means then they're going to playoffs. So it technically doesn't matter if they win or lose here at this standpoint, but obviously a win just again for this game 3 would be really good for them.
Absolutely. That was a very exciting series. I think a lot of people were expecting this to be a 2-0 for OMTZ, but now we've got a game 3 on our hands here, Gigatron.
Yeah, I mean, OMTZ still very good team and everything. Unfortunately, you look at draft was still kind of similar again last time, but you have to look at that Lilia very strong right now, pairs well with Graves. You have a lot of that mixed damage that is high burst. Again, when you were talking about maybe, you need to have more of like a AP Malphite in this case, didn't even need it. You just needed to do tank and just, again, have really good unstoppable forces, which were set up perfectly because Mac Mittens was hitting hooks, hitting those flays, had really good boxes. You had great bursts, again, coming out from Spies and Kanye. So because of that, that just set them up very well. You still had Key coming in at different points, getting really good kills. Only died once, too, on top of that. So same thing for Spies. So yeah, they really definitely were showing why this team comp that they chose this time is really good. And you take advantage of it.
Absolutely. And now with a game 3 on our hands, we will be going to a short break here as we do head into that game 3. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the final game before playoffs here in Runeterra Academy Sophomore League. For your final game here tonight, once again, I am Camcom, joined by Gigatron here on the desk. In this best of three right now, we are 1-1.
1-1. This second game win helps out SOS because they will be now in the playoffs. But now it's more, do you want to be in because you won 2 games? Or do you want to be in because you just have that extra game over Raw in that case and everything? So, let's see what we have here. Same bands coming out from SOS. I don't think there's going to be much difference. OMTZ realizes, you know what? That Graves was really strong. You guys have first pick. Let's not let you have that again. Same thing with the Malphite. Just really good in that pick comp, but also just not a laner you want to necessarily go against Ken if you're not going to be able to get potentially the Aatrox.
Yeah, with the Malphite, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't target him on the map. You have to find ways around other places in the map to find your lead. So as much as the Aatrox was able to find a lead over Malphite very well, that's not actually the place that you want to put Malphite down. You want to put him down in places that would follow up on his engage, not his own engage. Now we get to see the best of one, blue one pick here from SOS. I'm expecting a Xin Zhao.
I would expect that, or maybe that they'll pick up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Udyr or maybe the Hecarim, like you mentioned before, but not gonna be the case. We do see that Ezreal is picked up here.
Yeah, very safe AD carry, of course, very similar to Ziggs, where you can leave him alone in the bot lane as long as you want, and you know he is going to scale up. One of the highest scaling AD carries, as well as the safest AD carries with how long his range is with his W and Q poke, and of course his R is literally global. It is going to be matched here by the Lovers Duo bot lane, not something we get to see very often.
No, and when you do see the Lovers Duo always works really well. It's gonna do pretty good into this Ezreal in that case. Ezreal does have the phase shift, so when you do see Rakan jump in, it may or may not connect, so maybe that's where that quickness will help out in that case. And we do see that the Thresh is picked up here to round out their bot lane.
Yeah, Thresh, once again, a very strong counter pick into Rakan. Now, game 1, we did see him roam a lot on Rakan. He was not level 6 until I believe 11 or 12 minutes when you're supposed to be hitting level 6 at around the 7 or 8 minute mark. Xayah, you can leave her alone, especially against an Ezreal. There should not be any AD carry 1v1 kills going on here in the bottom lane, so I am hoping to see more roaming from Rakan, especially because, once again, Thresh, very strong counter pick into Rakan, completely negates his engage.
Didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, and completely, takes care of that engage. I'm going back, I'm like, wait a second, I'm not right of it. But we do see a lot of the same picks again for SOS that was here in the second game where you had the Liliat and the Thresh coming back, where, again, you said Thresh will definitely give Rakan that rough bit of a time. But we do see now they opt to take the Mordekaiser early now, so this way it will not be a ban coming out from SOS.
Yeah, it will not be a ban, but picking Mordekaiser very early like this, I was exactly going to say actually, can be countered by Fiora very easily, but OMTZ, thinking along the same exact lines I am, saying nope, not going to be countered by Fiora if you ban her away. Now, Mordekaiser still does have a few more commonly picked counter picks, right? That is why you can't blind pick Mordekaiser as easily anymore, but still, Fiora being that number 1 that we were all thinking of is going to be that out.
Yeah, Fiora just could be played very well, very easy into him, kind of negates just a lot of things, and it's really just unfortunate that you're not going to see it be played as a counter pick, but it's still good because of the fact that now, okay, who is in their kit for SOS that they can use into the Mordekaiser is more of the question. But now we're looking to see what OMTZ picks up here as their P4. They go with the Amumu.
Amumu very strong with Mordekaiser and for Khan with that strong engage, giving a little bit of extra AP damage, of course, to Mordekaiser through that passive. It will not be affected by the recent Banda nerfs and damage nerfs to the Q either. Those nerfs really only affect his laning phase, so sticking him back into the jungle where he is supposed to go will still be a very strong pick. I'm not so sure how strong it is into Lilia specifically, and Caston here as well locked in for SOS.
Oh boy, so now they're definitely playing late game because of the fact that now he doesn't really come on to that like level 15, level 16 mark where he just puts out a lot of damage and rift walk forever basically, and will be able to burst so much in that case. But they do pick up set, which works pretty well in the Mordekaiser. I mean, yeah, once set hits level 9, you know, he gets his power spike, does a lot of damage. But Kiana, oh
boy, that Amumu Kiana in the mid lane duo has a lot of kill pressure, especially onto a pre-level 6 Kassadin, right? And even Lilia as well. Both of them spike very hard at level 6, and then from there, it is only going to continue scaling. Whereas Kiana, she spikes very hard at level 6 as well, but then post level 11, post that 2-3 item power spikes that other champions have, she's going to start falling off. So that is not going to be the same mage that we have seen from OMTC's mid laner in the past 2 games. Oh no, this is an assassin. This is, you go in, you get kills early, especially against a cast, and that is what you want to play.
exactly. And Kiana, hopefully she can get more early kills on a Kassadin, so you dilute and stop the leveling from him, so that way that, hey, if you can, you know, restrict him from getting closer to that level 15, 16 mark, this makes it all a lot easier. Now then they can go roam more, because again, Kiana can go jungle sometimes. Obviously in this case she's going mid, but you know, we're gonna see that Amumu, you know, paired up with her will work very well. Like you said, once you hit level 6, you hope that maybe you get Curse of the Sad Mummy onto what's it gonna be, Casting there, or just is anyone near a wall, so then that way she can throw her ultimate and then be able to just secure a lot of damage onto them and hopefully a kill. So not necessarily hit comp coming out from OMTZ, but I think maybe a better team comp that could go into this kind of like pick comp again that you're having with SOS.
Yeah, I think OMTZ can win some team fights here if you do land that little kind of mini wombo combo between Amumu, Kiana, and Rakan, right? But I actually think they're much better in a split push environment where you can send either Mordekaiser, probably Mordekaiser, or even Kiana to a side lane and have the other 4 members just stick all around all together. Whereas SOS, they need to get Kassadin ahead. Kassadin is the entirety of this team comp right here. Yes, Lilia could get ahead. We saw him get really ahead in game 2, right? And then Ezreal Thresh could be a little bit of an insurance policy. They have a little bit of early game damage between the 2 of them there. But again, Ezreal, very strong scaling AD carry up there with the Kassadin as well. And Set, he's the tanky boy that they are going to need to try and disengage these early game team fights that OMTC are definitely in favor to win.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to look at, okay, who's really that tanky person that Set's going to throw in? And it's either that Mordekaiser or that Amumu into the enemy team there. Or essentially, Rakan goes in, you can just be like, let me throw you back to your team with that showstopper. And now there's a lot of damage. I mean, we saw a lot of, or I should say, I saw a lot of different sets this week. I played a set that actually had a really good showstopper into the enemy team, so it's going to be really pivotal to see if he can do that here for profit, and if he can get that nice secure kill onto just on DZ at all because of the showstopper. Then it just shows, okay, hey, now you have Lilia who can go in, do a little bit more. You have Thresh who can probably land an easier hook and help out with his team, and then you have Ezreal again poking away freely from behind, and then Kassadin can kind of stay up there with Lilia and set to do a lot of damage. So I think that's the big thing that they're going to have to worry about, is keeping those people back at bay, which, again, Warhead is playing at Amumu. He can use that Crystal Sand Mummy to help out. He can have Kiana be able to again, throw people in the wall if possible. You do have Ivar on Zaya, where you forget about the feathers, where the feathers can come back and root them in that case, which helps out with that knock-up and the quickness with the charm. So I don't know. I think a lot of it's going to be interesting to see with team fights. But yeah, I do see that they're probably going to run that 1-4 comp going out with OMTZ here.
Yeah, and as for like lanes to watch and win conditions here, originally I was actually going to say bot lane because of safe scaling between the two AD carries, but actually because of the safe scaling AD carries and how volatile I'm expecting this mid lane matchup to be, I'm expecting a lot of kills in this early mid. Whether it is from Lilia or Caston, or much more likely than a Mumu Kiana here, I'm expecting Zephyr and Macvidens to be up matching each other's roams in the mid lane there. So mid lane, the lane to watch here in this game 3. This game 3 most likely going to be entirely decided about whether or not Caston can hit that level 16 power spike quick enough to be able to end the game before eventually he will fall off, or not fall off, he will be killed off before he is able to hit it, right? And with that ticking down into spectator delay, we will be going to a short break as we do head into the game 3 of the best of 3 here tonight. SOS OMTC 1-1. Don't go anywhere, you don't want to miss it.
destruction of the realm. Come on, I say now to wipe out the traitors. The earth trembles as we gather ashore for the lands we swear to hold. For our kingdom
Game of tonight, final game before playoffs here, week 7 Gigatron. Once again, I'm Camcom, joined by Gigatron here tonight. SOS versus OMTZ, 1-1 in this best of 3. Game 3 here to take all the marbles.
This game 3 is going to be really good to watch because of the fact that, again, we're seeing spies again on this Lilia. We do see that 3 are stacking right here and might pick out Chitin at some point here. I'm assuming he has Facebreaker. He does. He better go in. I mean, she just keeps...
I mean, you gotta love those Kiana dances, right? She's got some really good spams. Kind of definitely showing them off for us very nicely here. I am slightly worried, though, because their only CC here between these 3 champions is that E onset did not bring Thresh up to land a potential hook, as Prophet shows, and kind just gets to back off unless Prophet actually commits a flash, and if he does, then Spies and Kanye can't actually follow up. Then there's not actually going to be any kill there, just some little presence.
No, just some sit-ups. I mean, you know, hey, he saw those Kiana's fans. He's like, no, let me show you my sit-ups. So, but we're gonna see standard starts. Both of them are gonna be at their blue buffs. So this means that they will not meet at the scuttles here up top. They're probably gonna just meet each other or not meet each other until they go either gank mid or, you know, just really get each of those scuttles, you know, on both sides there. So.
Yeah, standard starts from the junglers, but not maybe standard summoner spells here. You see Chitin has elected to take Ignite here instead of the usual teleport, as lots of trading in the 1v1 up there in the top lane. But yes, Ignite here on Chitin I do actually like. I would usually say I would like teleport more here, but in this specific game, Kassadin is the win con that you are trying to shut down, and if you are able to find a few more kills with that Ignite, then that will be able to shut him down very nicely, as Ridley does hit level 2 up on Prophet here in the top lane, almost finding a solo kill just based off of the experience.
Yeah, it set still not level 2 until right now. Does unfortunately take a turret shot here on Ridley, but that shows again why Mordekaiser is still going to be strong early on. Ooh.
Chitin looking for his first solo kill here in the mid lane. Does have that Ignite flashing forward, lands the Ignite. Kanye, he is just standing here waiting to see if he dies, and he will. First blood at the level 3 powers by going over to Chitin.
Yeah, Chitin just played it very well there. Got the Ignite off when she needed to and able to just take this first blood secure here. And unfortunately, you didn't have the potions come out a little bit quicker on Kanye. If they did, maybe you'd be able to survive the Ignite, but unfortunately just not having it. Ooh, good threading there, but unfortunately does not connect, Mac.
Unfortunately, will not connect onto Zephyr there. Again, Rakan, very slippery champion, very hard to try and find any CC onto him if he has literally anything up. Warhead here is going to find a Q onto Prophet, does have that flash available. Huge shield from the W, looking to make it a 1-for-1, and he is able to find that pick onto Ridley thanks to that massive W shield that he has. Zephyr still level 2 on the Rakan, but it is not going to matter.
It's not going to matter. He still was able to take the damage, no problem, and was able to freely get away there. But yeah, Prophet just taking that good 1v1 trade, like you said, had a really good grit stack there.
Once again, Kanye taken very low, half HP by Chitin, and Chitin has just half of the cooldown left on Ignite if he wants to look for another solo kill.
Yeah, I mean, she's really posturing towards that, and I think she can. We do see that he did back here at this standpoint, so this means then she's going to get a little bit of that CS lead early on here, get more of those stacks onto the tier, and oh my, Prophet
Yeah, I was gonna talk about how both Kaiten and Kanye have tiers. Tier is very expected on the Kassadin, but for Kiana, not something that I do usually get to see. It was nice to see Kain was able to push Kanye out of lane. Once again there, he did burn that teleport off of the first solo kill that Kain did get. So not having teleport here is going to put him down. Again, teleport, I believe, is 3 times the cooldown of Ignite. Somewhere between 2 and 3 times. So it is a lot of time that Kain will have Ignite up on the teleport.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what it's 383 seconds, so it's like 6 minutes, right? Something like that, compared to Ignite, which is always up like about like 2.5 to 3. So, yeah, unfortunate there, but look at this fight.
It's a really nice pull away from the W there, just to make sure Ridley does take the true damage.
Yeah, it just shows that, hey, he's very comfortable on this Mordekaiser here, and knows that, hey, let's just get these claws to go out. And hopefully, oh my god.
Key Gaming has 3 members. Excellent W prediction there from Zephyr, but unfortunately, not going to matter. As Key Gaming, he has that E, and he also has a flash.
He does have a flash, but he did burn it there in that case because he is very low on mana. But great timing, like you said, coming out from Zephyr there. Zephyr just showing why, hey, this Lovers duo is really strong. Ooh.
Yeah, he has been playing Rakan all 3 games tonight, so it is very much a comfort pick for him here. Unfortunately, was not able to predict that E, I think. I think he could have definitely gone in for an E there, but once you see Zephyr going in for a W on the prediction right there, it's like, no, well, I guess Ivor will get to live as Warhead on the Amumu. Very easy to solo those early objectives. We'll find that first Cloud Dragon for OMTZ.
Yeah, first Cloud Dragon, that's great for them. They can...
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Ridley is going to be ganked here by Spies, potentially, recalling in the Tri-Brush right now, sitting at just a quarter of his HP up here on the Mordekaiser. Never mind, Spies is actually going to complete that recall. Maybe he was... no, he wasn't even on a ward, actually. It's kind of you see in the mid lane, actually just burns Supreme Display of Talent, so leaves a lot of wiggle room here for Kanye to get that TP back up.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good, and it's good stun. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Great burst coming out from Chitin here. And yeah, you look at Prophet again, we're going to see trades here always going on really. Ooh.
Ridley is actually about to be solo killed up here in the top lane. Warhead, he was just trying to hit level 6 off of those Krugs. I'm pretty sure he would have hit it. And he was just telling Ridley, man, don't die. You got 10 seconds until I hit level 6. Then I can come up there, Prophet will die. But nope, Prophet says, I'm going to kill him right before he finds it.
It's just really good use of using your Haymaker to go, or Facebreaker into Facebreaker into Showstopper with Haymaker and everything, and just able to just secure the kill there and still get away on top of that. Like, it's just unfortunate that the Bandage Sauce did not hit, but also wasn't 6 either. But now he is, so this is when he goes and ganks someone next, he should be able to land that Curse of the Sand moment to someone.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, kind of having this tier stacking up here is kind of putting his early game damage a little bit further behind than you would have liked to see here from this Kiana, because that last time that you saw Kanye get real low from a full combo from Kain, I think if he had an actual like longsword or other damage item plus ignite, that could have potentially been a solo kill here. As 2v3 up here in the chicken pit. Warhead taking out Rilo is going to land that curse, and Sad Mummy immediately followed up by Zephyr and Kain, but so far no kills have been popped. Warhead taking out Rilo again, no more ultimate available. Ridley, first top laner to arrive here, finds that ultimate death realm onto Spies, left completely on his own in the middle of all 4 members of OMTC. Hook is found onto Ridley, but no follow-up. In fact, follow-up back onto Mac Mittens, forcing out that flash from the poor fresh, and it is just a 1-0 in favor of OMTZ.
Yeah, OMTZ just showing why their team is really good. They do secure the kill onto Spies there. Unfortunately, I did not fall into the Shadow Realm, but once they got out, they had a really good knockup coming in from Zephyr there. They had a good bandage loss that definitely went in and onto Mac Mittens there, and Mac still showing why, yeah, he's a really good Rush player because he was hitting his hooks, but oh no.
Oh no, Ridley might be solo killed here once again. Prophet fighting in the wave of Ridley though, so he is taking a lot of mana damage. Flash coming up from Ridley looking for a solo kill of his own, but Prophet just about able to make it out with his life.
Yeah, just barely makes it out there, but now he has the regen going off his passive. He's gonna be...
Oh! That's awkward.
Awkward? But this is what... the fact that this is why you pick the Kiana. You're trying to get all those constant kills early on at Kanye. Because then, like, again, if you stop him from getting to that level 15, 16 power spike, now you don't have to worry about the issues of late game and everything there. So, but Warhead's coming in.
Warhead looking for a gank here in the bottom lane. Key Gaming just now gets his flash up, actually, and does not have any mana, so you do have to use that flash since you won't have enough for the arcane shift, of course. But Warhead just come down there for a little bit of pressure. And again, looking back here in the middle lane, Kaiden 2 levels up on Kanye, 3-0, fully completed mythic and a half stacks tier in his pocket. This Kiana is a big problem now. 3 out of the 4 kills are on his head right now for OMTZ.
Yeah, and since he is the one that is having that power spike and everything there, this shows why this laning phase isn't going great for Kanye there. But it means then when team fights happen and everything, that not Kanye, but Kaiten will be able to still provide a lot of damage and burst out people. Ooh. Good trades again going on top lane here, but I don't know. Ridley's been hitting really good pullbacks here. I don't know. Ooh.
Oh, Death Realm is going to be popped there by Ridley. W is going to miss for Prophet, but isn't even going to matter. So much damage coming out. It's just who finds the burst first. And it is going to be Ridley finding the kill within his ult. So he will get, I believe, a few more stats to his name. But OMTZ also on the opposite side of the map through that solo kill tempo are able to find the second dragon for themselves. And it could be an Infernal Soul. Okay, not going to be an Infernal Soul for 3 games in a row, but still Ocean. Very powerful.
We broke the curse. I was gonna say if I get 2 games in a row back to back of casting nights where I have 3 Infernal Souls again, I'm gonna say, Riot, you are rigging my game. Stop it. But again, really good play there, top lane for Ridley. Really just getting that Shadow Realm off at a good time. He had good burst onto him, was able to do good trades, and that timing of the shield was perfect to match sets. So then that way he's able to get that kill onto him solely there. So, which means now this you're gonna have to have happen where Spies comes up, trying to get out these wards, so this way he can come up, try to throw the Swirl Seed down, get the Sleepy coming out onto him and everything for the Mordekaiser there. But oh no.
Okay. Yeah, oh no is right. Kaiten has held a solid 2-level lead over Kanye so far. He does have 5,000 gold in his pocket to the 3,300 that Kanye currently has. So that is a full item, 2,000 gold worth of gold. 2,000 gold worth of gold, yes, in Kaiten's pocket.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is you have to look at, he is really ahead right now, and that's just going to be showing why.
Prophet looking for a flank there, but unfortunately he's the one that's actually going to be flanked. Kill going to be going over to Warhead here as well. Unfortunately, not in Kaiten's pocket, but still Prophet. He had a really good angle. It was just unfortunate that there was 0 follow-up from SOS.
Yeah, I think if you had your Lilia there a little bit sooner, where she could have potentially helped out in trying to get Swarson.
Oh no, Kanye. Macmins though finds the flash hook, very impressive, onto Kaiten here. He's the one in trouble now. Exhaust landed onto him as well, and Shutdown will fall to Spies. But topside here could be looking for a play on a ward though.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at this right now, and I want to talk, but I realize after a while I'm just like, I need to stop because too much stuff is happening. But yeah, just unfortunately, Prophet tried to have a really good play there. It honestly would have, like I said, if Lily was able to like kind of come out and help that a little bit more, but still they can secure that kill on the Chitin regardless now. And yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting to see if they can do a little bit more of this, because now that she's gonna have flash up now, in this case she didn't have it up in that fight before. Now, is she going to be able to get away that a little bit easier now, or is she still going to be dealing with that slow that was really detrimental to her in that case?
Yeah, and absolutely. And now you just see kind of this very lull state right now. This has been a very fast, very high tempo game 3. Not anything like the previous 2 games where it was like 1 kill before 10 minutes and then maybe like 4 or 5 total kills at 15 minutes. But here in this game 3, we have 9. That is almost 10 kills before the 15-minute mark even hits, right? That is the most kills that we've had all night, so it is much more faster paced, and largely due to the fact that Chitin has been working his way up to shutting down Kanye as fast as he possibly can. You still see that level lead has closed a little bit now, heading up into these higher levels. Kanye still sitting at level 10. Once he does start hitting that level 11 power spike, he's going to start becoming quote-unquote a real champion here on this cast.
Yeah, he will become a real champion at some point. I mean, the way that this game's going is probably going to go towards that late game. Unless we see that like really starts popping off a lot here on the Prophet. And again, Kiana, I mean, she is up early, but doesn't mean she's going to be able to keep that lead early, as we see that they're going to steal this blue buff away from...
by 4 members.
I mean, yeah, you really don't want to do the fight. It's just... You have your Rakan far away, your Zaya's here in the bot lane, just kind of by herself, and you have Amumu and Chitin right now in the mid lane, so not really going to be good for them. But they are going to probably pop this Rift Herald here, I'm assuming, soon.
Yeah, Rift Herald is picked up there by Warhead quite a few minutes ago now, actually. So having that for those first 3 objectives in OMTZ is really where most of their gold lead has gone. Because yes, a large portion of it is specifically on Chitin, but the rest of his team have used it to find those other objectives. Double Drowsy is landing here, but no follow-up quite yet. Zephyr looking for that ultimate onto the backline. Flash coming out from Warhead as well, but did not use that ultimate on anyone quite yet. Rift Herald finds the Rift first tower of the game. Ivar using the ultimate very offensively, unfortunately not able to find any CC through it there, and only 1 kill picked up so far through this fight, just a 1-0 despite how much has been thrown. Kanye hitting level 11 on the cast, and you see how much damage he's able to flash forward, finds his first kill of the game onto Ridley. Zephyr going back in here, but he's going to be next up on the table, forced to E away very quickly. Kanye looking for a second kill right onto Ivar, TP in from behind here as well. Ivar actually forced to flash over that wall. Prophet was the one channeling that TP, and Ivar could actually die sitting here underneath that tower. And first dragon for SOS, third dragon of the game though, will finally be picked up.
Yeah, this is going to be the third dragon going towards them for, well, third dragon in the game, first dragon going to them.
Oh no, Ivar! That was not a safe spot to recall, my friend.
You know, I just have the good old TikTok meme of, you know, the oh no playing in my head right now, and yeah, it's just unfortunate for Ivar there. But yeah, this is showing why the set is really powerful, because you can just little tower dive, take out an ADC who's very low health with the showstopper into Haymaker and Facebreaker. So it's just unfortunate there, but this doesn't mean that they're out of the game yet. They're still up approximately 1k gold right now. It is turrets 1-1. They are still up on dragons right now, 2-1 for OMTZ here. So don't count them out necessarily yet, but it is shifting into their favor right now for SOS.
Yeah, now kind of heading into mid-game here a little bit at the beginning of it with a couple of these outer towers starting to fall, right? The gold lead, I would call it completely even. It is just 1,000 in favor of OMTZ, but 1,000 spread between 5 members is what, 200 gold each? So that's really not anything to
Oh
be
no.
very impressed by, but Profit being 3-man up here on the top side is going to be the next potential pick off from SOS Kain, getting his 4th kill of the game on this Kiana. But again, he's going to be starting to get outscaled by Kanye if he does not continue to make these plays, which I mean, so far, he's made a lot of very strong plays. Ridley will be hit by that Everfrost here. Warhead does hit that double sad money ultimate, but unfortunately, just not enough fall of damage. Kind of arriving in the backside, though. Q does land once again onto Kanye. Warhead takes up a few tower shots, does block them from Kain, and with the E, it is able to find a double kill for himself once again on this Kiana.
Yeah, using that supreme display of talent, she's just able to secure those 2 kills there onto both Kassadin and Thresh, and it's just a little unfortunate because they played very.
Oh my gosh! Featherstorm actually being used to dodge out that Ezreal ultimate. Man, that is a lot of damage from this early of an Ezreal, right? As Key Gaming now, you thought he did a lot of damage. Well, he is still an AD carry. He still gets absolutely blown up there by OMTC and Spies, just about able to run away through the use of the healing.
Yeah, and really good TP by Ridley there. Just being able to come down, try to get this pressure of the Lilia and Azrael off here, and again, really good use of the Featherstorm, like you said, just because she's able to dodge out the True Shot Barrage. And yeah, I mean, it's just really good heads up play coming out from MTZ here.
Yeah, absolutely. And the gold lead has grown to just about 2,000 now in favor of OMTZ. 6 kills up, 1 dragon up as well. Towers are largely even here. I do believe it is 2. Yeah, it is 2 towers each. So towers not particularly in favor of either side. But 90 seconds left on this sole point here for OMTZ. And they are currently in large vision control of the bottom side of the river.
Yeah, they're going to see that SOS is going to probably start clearing out some of the wards right now, as we see that Mech Mittens is around, uses the sweeper along as well, but Spy's doing it as well. So now they're going to see these 2 wards here, but doesn't mean that they're not going to be able to get some more wards here as they do reset for this. Looks like we're going to see Ridley is going to be potentially pushing this top lane here. And we do see that Azrael is heading up here. Azrael doesn't have TP, so I hope, yeah, he's shifting now. He's shifting towards Dragon. I was going to say, I hope you realize you need to be there for Dragon and not be trying to respond as Mordekaiser in the top lane here. So Mordekaiser taking the scuttle up here right by Baron. This way, now they have a little bit more vision there. You're not going to see Dragon still going to be coming up for another 30 more seconds approximately. So just hoping to see that we have Chitin here, maybe do some fancy footwork, do a lot of damage, and
ooh, that hook. Man, that hook was close to hitting onto Warhead here. Kain does still have 2 levels up on Kanye right now. Kanye is sitting level 12, 4 levels away. Time ticking down. That time ticking bomb right there on the Kassadin's head. That is how much more time Kain is going to be a real champion here on the map before Kanye is able to really match his damage. Key Gaming is forced to be flashing away there. Ridley does get hooked off, but it is not going to matter. Huge curse of the sad puppy landing onto the backside there of SOS. There is nothing left for them to do. Ridley finds the pop before his death roam even expires as well. Finding the 1v2 in the backline, he is going to be going down, but he is the only member going down. Huge W prediction there from Zephyr there as well onto the backside. And it is the clean ace 4, 5 for 1 in favor of OMTZ.
yeah, 5 for 1 OMTZ. They just, again, played very well there. Good use of choke point, just able to, again, use the sad mummy who had the supreme display of talent going off, as well as Featherstorm and quickness. So just everything just being burned in that process to hear the ace, get the dragon. They're gonna get this mid turret here as well too, and hopefully they're going to be able to push out this bot lane, so maybe they could take this outer turret here.
Yeah, this has been really the most back and forth game that we have had in this best of 3, right? It's like, it was very solidly in favor of OMTC in game 1, very much in SOS in game 2, and now game 3, yes, now it's solidly in OMTC. But for the first 10 to 15 minutes, it was all on Kaiden to keep that tempo lead going, and then he has definitely been able to secure a lot of objectives through the tempo lead now. You see he is 8-1 with that one death, I believe, being before even level 6 hit, right? So he's had a lot of time to really scale up on this Kiana, and now being level 14, just a couple levels away from being that first level 16 on the map. This gold lead is largely in his hands right now.
Yeah, largely in his hands, and we see Set is going in on this step right here.
Zephyr burning literally everything to run away here. Warhead might just have to do the same. OMTC, knowing that they could easily be picked off here, don't want to throw this gold lead, especially when they know Kaiten is not here. And if Kaiten's not here, you're missing almost all your damage.
Yeah, missing all your team's damage, you don't want to be doing that. So this is why, right now, we have to look at that. Unfortunately, OMTZ is doing really well, where MacBittens could have had a really good hook there, but was a little wide there in that process. And now, big thing I have to worry about is, so what does, Spiders and Stilts have to do to get back in this game? And I think the big thing is try to stop the Dragon Bleed, just get a couple more turrets. And they're kind of more of that like weird pick scaling comp. So now that you have Kassadin here now at level 13, is again just beat him some more CS, get some more kills, more gold onto him, and he'll be able to again get another good item, be able to do a lot of burst damage, becomes that champion like we always talk about. And I don't know, we'll see here. Kaiten waiting in the rush here. Might pick out someone, but uh-oh.
No, he might be the one picked off here. Both of them are going to be rooted. Kanye seeing level 13 shut down, fallen over to Spy Zephyr completely on his own. Really TP's in, but he might be just TPing into his death. He's exhausted, taken in the death realm though with Mac Mittens, and now Ivor trying to run away, but he's being ulted now by Set, still trying to escape, but you are only a Xayah completely on your own. Very same story over here for Warhead. Ridley still looking for one pick. He found one, looked for a second onto potentially Kanye, but he knows that they are very down in numbers and they're just going to have to lose 3 members.
Unfortunately, gonna have to lose 3 members, and now this means then they're going to posture towards that Baron that's up right now, and should be able to take it. Should be able to take it without any contest. I mean, even though Amumu is up, Warhead could go over there and everything, but even if he lands a binding,
I believe in the steal. It is for 4v2 right now in favor of SOS, and just the sheer presence of Warhead and Ridley, and knowing that the rest of OMTC has respawned, because of course it is still pre-30 minutes. Respawn timers are still very short. It will actually pull SOS off that Baron.
Yeah, because you have to look at, you had Ridley up, you have Warhead, like those two could be enough because of the fact that now you can literally just take out spies. And he's like, wait, where's my Baron buff that I didn't try to smite? And then now you have Warhead come in and steal it. So again, smart play by them to just peel off, because you already were at half health on all of them. If you were maybe a little bit healthier, especially on the Set, maybe Set could just go fight Ridley and maybe burn the Shadow Realm in that case, but not going to be the case here.
Yeah, Prophet is the next one here on the table. 3 people are collapsing on him, but it is very hard to kill a Set. The entirety of OMTZ have arrived. Prophet looking to make it at least 1 for 1 before he goes down. Unfortunately, Ivar even burns heal and Featherstorm to make sure that is not the case. But you see SOS. You sent 5 people down to bot lane. SOS gonna go try and stake that Baron.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to realize Set doesn't need to have the Baron. You just need to use him as bait, which at this point was a good use of that. You have Drake is up right now, so that means they will trade Ocean Soul for the Baron here in this case, and potentially Kiana might come teal us.
Oh, Oh, that was definitely stealable right there if Kind wanted to commit. He didn't have the flash, but he could have dashed in. He doesn't have a bounty to be worried about if he did want to try and play for a steal. If that Baron went into OMTZ's pocket right after getting a pick and Ocean Soul, that could have very well been game ending. Once again, time ticking bomb on Kanye's head, sitting level 14, very close to that 16.
It's sitting close to that 16, which again means that power spike comes in to make him that real league champion. And now I really don't want to have to see Casting come alive, but you know what? If it does, it's fine. Chitin still showing that, hey, he's at 16 right now, doing a lot to try to make sure that Casting doesn't get there. Ed's going right on him.
Oh no! Oh no, Kanye! That was not the bush you wanted to face check right there, my friend. It really does have level 16 up on Prophet being level 15, but Prophet has the help of Spies here, really using that Death Realm, trying to make it just a 1v1, but it is still not going to be. That finds the 1v1 kill onto Spies right before giving his own 350 shutdown over to Prophet.
Yeah, really good use of the Quicksilver Sash here by that pickup from Lilia. And yeah, just again, getting that 1v1 or 1-for-1 back. So great job in that case, but it's a little unfortunate that you do have a QSS now on Spies. So this means that you don't want to necessarily target him anymore because he's been doing that like pretty much all game now, it seems like. So you pay the tax, now you can get through things a little bit easier. But now we do see that a bunch of them are in the blue side jungle here for OMTZ. So I'll wonder if they're going to be able to catch them out or at least push them back, which is what they're doing right now. They need to go back, reset, get some, spend their gold. I don't know how good items they could probably pick up right now. Yeah, we see Dirk getting picked up right now from Kiana. And yeah, I mean, we do see Cassian is at 15. He's almost there. Let's look. He is core of the way to 16. So, gonna be a while, but
Yeah.
if Chitin could get another good kill in the time frame, it'll be really good. Oh no.
Oh, maybe. Okay, it's okay. I do want to talk about here. QSS tax has been paid now by Spies and Key Gaming. Important member that has not paid it quite yet is Kanye. He is working towards, I believe, that death cap third item. So if he did build QSS, yes, he might live, but that is going to put that power spike of the third item death cap very far behind. Maybe even so far behind that he won't even be able to hit it this game with just 2 minutes 45 seconds to this Elder Dragon spawning here on the map. Elder Dragon, not a dragon that we have gotten to see so far in this series, spawning very early actually. Not usually you see that around the 40-minute mark. Nope, we're gonna have it at the 35. I do believe Kanye will be able to hit level 16 unless he dies here. Gonna go golden TP coming in here as well. Kind finds the first kill onto Key Gaming. That QSS is not going to be able to save his life. Conley taken down to half HP, trying to run away, but the double man sleep is going to land. Unfortunately, there is no follow-up damage onto them. Kanye has been taken out of the fight. He has to run back to the base to health, respawn his health part, but still 5 members strong for OMTZ. They found 1 pick onto Key Gaming. These hooks are very nicely landing, but again, no damage. Will not allow for any actual kills. Spy's gonna be going golden there, but he is almost certainly dead. Macman's next one here on the table pops that locket to survive for just a little bit. Warhead being taken down real low, but Kyan finds the kill onto Macman's right before still level 17. Absolutely huge on this Kiana. Locks in the double kill. Locks in Kanye not hitting 16 before this Elder Dragon spawns.
Yeah, and you have to look at, like, and unfortunately, you do see Cassian fall again. You see Mac Mittens is down too, just because of the fact that really good plays coming out for OMTZ, but you have the answer back of the same thing. You have 2 people down right now. You do have that Elder Drake and Baron pretty much spawning right around the same time here in about roughly 1 minute and 5 seconds. So, yeah, I really hope that it's a toss-up, at least for the Elder Drake. and that someone gets the Baron. At this point, it really doesn't matter who, but I think the toss-up coin flip for Elder Drake could put either team ahead, because if, hey, they get the Smite Steel coming out from, say, Spies onto it, or maybe Casson hits that level 16 Spike. I mean, he's getting there. It's not going to be yet. Maybe he can pick up a wave, so he hits 16. That way, that next fight will be more destructive in that case. But we might not see that here, as we see Warhead is coming around.
Warhead is looking for a pick here. You still see Kanye even has not hit that level 16. Macman's dead before the Elder spawns. Will most likely lead to Elder going uncontested into OMTZ's hands. Kanye, again, 15 here. He's trying to run away. Ridley is very fast, though. Everfrost will stop him. But Zephyr and Kayan make sure he is not allowed to run away. Running around, doing the full loop-de-loop, finds the kill on Tim Prophet, trying to flash away, finds himself in this 1v3 here in the river pit, right? And now Prophet is not allowed to run away. Shutdown falling as well to Kaiten, level 18 on this Kiana. Absolutely huge. Key Gaming trying to flash away, but it is not going to matter. I believe that was an unofficial quadra kill picked up by Kiana.
Yeah, it's the unofficial quadra. We do see that the Elder Drake is picked up by OMTZ here, and they are going to be starting this Baron, as we see it's whittling down pretty quickly here, as both Ridley and Chitin are bursting through this right now. We'll see it pop shortly. Now OMTZ has two of the big major buffs in the game. They'll be able to push out these lanes more, get the inhibitors down here, probably in, I'd say, mid and maybe that bot side if they can get it pushed out. This is where we'll probably see that 4-1 lane phase that you're kind of talking about. So earlier on in the game, maybe, or they're just gonna 5-stack. I mean, they could just 5-stack and just win.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, OMTZ, they have Ocean Soul, they have Elder buff, they have Baron on their heads right now. All they have to do is find a team fight, and they should win it with all of these executes. All 5 members have all 5 buffs. There hasn't been anyone picked off before anything has been taken, so they are sitting very strong. You do see Kain, though, he is level 18. He is eventually going to be outscaled, but first member sitting at 18 as well, as full build here does do a lot of damage up until at least the other members of SOS are able to catch up. You see Kanye is still 15. Do a little bit of an XP check here. He is 99% of the way, ladies and gentlemen, to level 16. This Kassadin is about to become big, but he's about to become big at the very end of this game here.
Yeah, very end of the game. But this means that, look at it this way, you have 2 True Shot Barrages that have been shot here in the last minute. So this means that maybe they can get some more damage, some more poke out onto Chitin here, or Ivar, so then that way their carries do get that a little bit weaker. But
Flash in from Warhead lands the ultimate onto still a level 15 Kanye. He is still yet to find that power spike. All of the executes are being popped. There is no one left on the map for SOS, and OMTC are able to find the 3rd game here tonight at just 11:30 p.m. here. OMTC take the 2-1 against SOS for the final game before playoffs in Runeterra Sophomore.
yeah, it's really good by them, just because this shows that, hey, even though it took us a little while, we stopped Kanye from getting to that 16 spike and just be dominating with a 16 spike, because he did it at 16 there, but unfortunately wasn't able to do much with it in that case. And Kiana, look at that damage, over 42,000 damage right now, just showing why she's a really good assassin. Really shut him down this game, and it's unfortunate for SOS. They still do get into playoffs because of getting that game 2 win and everything there, but
my gosh, that vision score.
yeah, that vision score, crazy coming
Literally
out from...
double. Literally double Wow. Congratulations, Zepper. If that doesn't boost your vision score stat, then that is unfortunate because, man, 144 vision, that is straight up like world's level vision score right there.
Yeah, but this shows that, hey, you know what? He's being a team player. He's trying to clear those wards as much as possible, get those wards out as much as possible, too. So then that way they can see where everyone is. And we did see in that game that they did have really good vision, really good scores coming out with that. And again, this shows that Zephyr, being that very mobile champion, being on the Rakan, kind of went back towards that like game one where he was roaming around more, getting a lot of those wards out, getting more of that vision so they could see where spies would be, where Prophet might be coming from, or if Mech Mittens was coming out of his lane to try to gank and help out that mid lane there. But now we are going to see that again. This game 3 goes over to OMTZ, so congrats to them. They're going to go 6-1 with the Runeterra Academy's sophomore class. And again, we still see that SOS does get in for the 4th place spot. So great job by them. So regardless, it's still a win-win. It's not maybe necessarily the win-win that people would like, but in the end, there still is a win-win. So I'm excited for playoffs. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Quarterfinals will be starting on here next week. Of course, come back here Saturday, 8 p.m. for your sophomore playoff quarterfinals games, or come back here tomorrow and Monday for your junior and senior week 7 games. Once again, I've been Camcom, joined by Gigatron here on the desk. Thank you all for watching our sophomore games here tonight. Go on to the game 3 of a best of 3, 38-minute elder flip type game, the kind everybody loves to watch. Thank you all for watching and see you back here tomorrow for your junior class leagues.